Alrighty, hello and welcome everyone. I hope you're all having a fantastic evening. It's your boy Logic, and we're back here with another Shortbeard tournament. So for those that don't know what the Shortbeard tournament is, essentially it's a Shortbeard tournament, the tournament is for new players. When I say Shortbeard, I also mean new players. So, yeah, so it's going to be basically a tournament for new players where they can come and get some tournament experience where you're not going to have the big players in the game. You know, you're not going to be having your Inticities or your Falcons coming through and, you know, knocking you out of round one immediately. You're going to get some good games, and it gives pretty much everyone a good opportunity to get to the final and, you know, just get a good level of experience where they can, you know, jump back in and, you know, get into some of these bigger tournaments that, you know, are hosted by some of the big casters like Death Before Dishonor, etc. And, you know, you can hopefully have some experience going there into those kind of tournaments. So everyone's doing well. Let's go HR, show him that you are the Karen and that they shall fear you. Welcome everybody. So we're going to call it HR Neckbet to GG Gamer, Matthew. Welcome everybody. I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening. We are going to be kicking it off, of course, with Matthew, who is a brand new Shortbeard here. Brand new indeed. Going up against Quality Shards. I believe Matthew did start in the Oakland Miners, which is the entry level there for the Shortbeards. And then Quality Char is going to be the veteran of the Shortbeards. He's certainly no longer a Shortbeard. This is his last season. He will be getting promoted after this, and then we will be finishing. So, let's go through this. So, we are going to be having Wood Elves, Ban, Bretonia, and High Elves was the pick. So this one here, we're still going on the old school system. The reason we're still going on the old school system here is because a lot of the players were used to that when we've done it for the last 3 seasons. So it seemed a bit silly to kind of change that up. So we're going to be keeping it here with, you know, we're going to be keeping it here with the pick 1, ban 2. Predominantly most of my top end tournaments are sort of pick 2, ban none now. I'm the Giga Karen, and Matt's manager is going to get fired. I love it. Alright, let's do it. So yeah, looking just ready here for Matt. Now we're kicking off. So it looks like it's going to be the Greenskins and then the Wood Elves was picked. Yep, I think Greenskins into High Elves is, you know, I think Greenskins is pretty good into both. It really depends how well Matt, you know, plays with the Greenskins. If you can deal with the skirmish here from the Wood Elves, you know, it can be an interesting one. Can be an interesting one for sure. He have a manager? Question mark. Everyone has a manager at some level. Everybody has a manager. My manager is the YouTube algorithm. She giveth and taketh away by powers all the time. But yes. Alrighty, so we are going to be on WARHAMMER for the first game. It should be interesting. Yeah, I don't think the other semi-finals has been sorted yet, but it'll be Undead, who's already made it there, who's actually already been a winner here of the Shortbeard tournament previously. And then we'll be having Ale Yak East going up against Gogmar. Either one of those two that wins will be playing Undead in the other semi-final. So, let's get on here. So we're going to move over to the left-hand side. We are going to be seeing here from Mr. Quad HR, we are going to have Glade Riders. Bucket loads of Glade Riders, looks like 3 units. Backed up here by a bunch of the Hagbane tips. Starfire Shafts, regular Starfire Shafts, and Hagbane tips. So a mixture here of Glade Guard in the middle. Backed up here by the triple anti-large Eternal Guards. Bucket loads of Dryads. And more Eternal Guards with a Shadows Caster. That's the branch right here. Probably Prodigal Pendulum and Earthblood, I would imagine. Yeah, both of those are going to be coming in. And it looks like here we are going to have the Glade Lady with the Prayer of the WARHAMMER and the Arrows of Kurnos. Here on a Stag here, brilliant charge bonus. Pretty tanky as well. Yeah, you can see bucket loads of armor piercing for the weapon strength. Yeah, this bad thing can certainly rip a new one. And physical resistance 20%, missile resistance of 15% is the Lord. You know, 35% missile resistance. Yeah, pretty damn good. The Prayer of the WARHAMMER as well. The net that goes down also gives a reduction on missile resistance. So you can certainly net all the skirmish cav and do all the big juicy work. So, speaking of skirmish cavalry, we are going to be having the Death Creepers. Like these very much. And this matchup actually even better more than most because it has Stalk. Stalk and Regen. So of course you're going to be trading blows here on fire. You're certainly going to take some damage over time. So having Regen to kind of, you know, help you fix up some of those shortcomings that you might have on the micro there. It's pretty good with regen and stalk and, you know, good poison arrows as well. It just makes it rather difficult. Goblin Warfighter Archers, very cheap, you know, pretty good. You don't really care if you throw these away. They can also be used as cav in the later stages. Pretty tanky and sticky. Could be the Forest Goblin Spider Riders. 45 armor, bronze shield as well. They do have poison for the tip spears. They do have Vanguard deployment. Pretty fast as well, 78 speed. They do have Strider, so kind of no penalties in trees, no penalties on, you know, hills and all these kind of things. So, yeah, they can fight pretty strong. So the Warlord boys here at the front with the armor sundering. They're also going to be having stalk. Armor sundering not too useful, but they do have the silver shields, and then they're going to gate a lot of the missiles. So can be said here for the 8-peak loonies. These bad boys here with the fanatics can do extremely well indeed. On the front, Orc boys, bunch of those. Back to here, goblins and the Doom Diver catapults. So we have more spider riders and also here more Orc biggins in the back. Giant Mildra Hag, Spirit Share of Aspects with the Dread Knight, very strong spells, a really good spellcaster in this matchup. Hex as well as Overwhelming Odor. Backed up here by the Goblin Great Shaman here for the Wand of Jet and also the Vindictive Glare. We are going to have Grom the Paunch here with Lucky Banner and also Language of the Boys for that immune to psychology. So yeah, very strong indeed, very strong. I still like that quite a bit. So, it's all going to come down here really to Matt and how he wants to play this. What he's going to need to do is he's going to need to get his forces here to push forward. They need to go forward, and the reason being is you need to create at least 170 range between your Glade Guard and the cannon crews here on the Doom Diver catapults. But they also need to protect the back, so you need to keep these Spider Riders in, keep them nice and tight, and make sure, or at least you have some Goblins in the back. Yeah, you need to be having the Goblins in the back to do the work, because the Doom Diver catapults will do the business here on the Glade Guard. Hey, Farfozel, we're going to have Undead as well. How are we, champs? Hope we're doing very well today. Hope we are doing very well indeed. And guys, as you are here, I hope you are having a great time here on the live stream. I hope you've enjoyed all of the short bit content that has come forward. Of course, it's going to be really showcasing all of the new players here in the multiplayer scene. If you are liking it, do feel free, of course, to smash that like button. It really does help here on the channel. And also, do feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. We did just hit the 1.1k mark, and yeah, couldn't be happier. Couldn't be happier. So in the front, a little bit of skirmish here. We are going to see the foot range going to be shooting here up the back. Of course, the Starfire Sharks will absolutely butcher the face here of the Death Creepers. Now, they do have 45 armor, but regen gives a fire weakness here in this game, which means it can be pretty painful. Can be pretty painful. Doom Divers, where are we going? So Doom Divers are going for the cavalry. Not a bad choice either, actually. Reducing that mobility here from the Azrai is pretty decent as well. You know, stopping them from getting in the back and doing the shutdown. You've got to be careful here. These archers, they're pretty much already going to be in range of the Doom Divers, and this is a nice positioning here from the Dryads. The reason it's nice to have them here is that this line here is where these boys can shoot in the back and then also get on top of the Doom Divers. You can see there we're going to be shooting in the back, and yeah, it's pretty painful. You now need to get your infantry on the back and compromise this range before they rip apart your Doom Diver catapults. I don't think quite Matt has realised this yet, and you know, this is going to be perfectly placed here for the Dryads. And we are going to have a Penumbral Pendulum down the front here on the Orc Voids, and that is going to rip them a new one. Lovely stuff indeed. Goblins are moving forward. We now need to get the 8-peak loonies with a little wah down the line here. Get some of those fanatics going. You can see Doom Diver catapults are taking damage. You really just want to pull the cannon crews off. They're going to break before that's able to happen. We should just drop them off and then brought them back when the lines were more secure. Goblins here are ready to go. They're ready to rumble. Spider Riders are moving around. Let's have a look over here. More Spider Riders come around the flank here as well. You can see the Death Creepers are shooting in up against the Eternal Guard. Silver Shield, so then they definitely want to be shooting the Glade Riders. They're certainly going to fight better in combat there. Archers shooting in. Only 15 armor there for the Glade Riders, so they're going to take quite a bit of punch. The Warlord boys backed up here by... what's that? Is that the AP Loonies? Yeah, the AP Loonies. So they're going to be fighting quite hard. We need to see some more of those swirlies coming in and doing the good work here in the back line. Archers are going to rip apart this force. So we do get a return here for the Doom Divers. Do we have the micro to get them back on, though, is the question. And get these Orc boys back into the front. We are going to see War here in the front. Spider Riders in. Grom the Paunch as well, fighting up against a lot of the Glade Riders. Sorry, the Glade Guard here in the back. And they're going to do some lovely work indeed. Judging about the Eternal Guards, they're going to do some nice stuff here. Just pinning in up against the Forest Spider Riders. In the back here, the Branch Wraith not really under pressure, but we do see the Orc boys moving through. They might be doing some good juicy work indeed. And here we are. We have Grom in. We do have the Meat Sack ready to go. This thing can armor pierce. Can it slash up against the Glade Lady, though, is the question. That'd be quite nice indeed. Looks like the Goblin Shaman. He's going to be getting his hands dirty. He does have Vindictive Glare, so normally you'd see him sort of in a location just like this. And just, you know, blasting left, right, and centre and just doing all this, you know, very, very annoying stuff. So there's going to be a net here on Grom the Paunch. You're going to be fighting here with the Glade Lady. So can we get the River Troll Hag in doing the work? We are going to be shooting here with arrows, so it's going to be the Starfire Shafts and the regular Glade Guard moving in with more Starfire Shafts, and then it looks like Hagbane Tips on the flanks. This is where you need to be pushing out your infantry units and your Spider Riders to come compromise these units, or Grom is just going to die. And lo and behold, Grom is dying. In the back here, we do see some of the Goblin Wolf Riders. They're going to be shooting here up against some of the Eternal Guards. You really want to get these Goblins in the back here. Yeah, fine, they're not great melee combatants, but they need to shut down this range because they are just ripping Grom a new one. Aspect the Dread Knight was given to him for magic damage, but it doesn't really matter here if he's going to be dying in the back. Looks like here we did actually have a nice Penumbral Pendulum through the line here of the Orc Boys. That's going to do a lot of damage. This is here is a common mistake I see in new players. There's a bit of blobbing. You've got 3 units there attacking 1 unit of Glade Guard, but then it just allows in the back here, it just allows your ranged units just to keep shooting. But 2 have been compromised here. You can see the same on the other side. These 3 are going to be beating back the Spider Riders. It's pretty even here, I'd say, though. It is going to be favouring the Wood Elgi pretty hard, but I think here there's no way that these can't come in and start compromising the range. If you can start doing that, you can certainly get yourself back into the game. Did Grom die? Grom didn't die. Where is Grom? Grom did not. Did Grom die? Grom didn't. Oh, there's Grom shattered. That's a shame. Grom shattered, so when Grom goes off, we will get that -16, and that probably could cause the end of this game, I think. But we do see the Giant River Troll Hag. She's going to regen. Arrows of Kurnos here in the back. We're now going to be firing here up against the last Doom Diver here. That will destroy it, and there the Doom Diver catapults will be finished. But we can now fire into the front. Start doing some work here, getting them down. Looks like we are going to be going through the lines here of the Glade Guard. Nice Penumbral Pendulum here down the line of the Orc Boys. Oh, sorry, it's actually going to be the Warlords Boys and the 8 Peaks. I haven't seen any swirlies yet. We also haven't seen too much. I mean, these compromising the Glade Lord is not that important. This is the threat right here. This is the threat, unfortunately. Vindictive Glare through the lines here of the Dryads. Dryads will clear out the Forest Spider Riders pretty quickly. And yeah, pretty good otherwise. In the back here, Goblin Wolf Riders are getting pushed away. The Doom Diver catapult is still going. We see a bucket of arrows here just firing into the Night Goblins. Prayer for WARHAMMER here, pinning him in place. Negative missile resistance as well, so it's going to help him get absolutely slapped. So, in the middle here, we do see the Glade Lord. She's going to be charging up against the line of the Unbreakable 8P Loons. And now, these are going to be below 25% HP, so they're not going to be able to get that little Fanatics going off there in the back. And it's just going to be the arrows just launching here into the front. You can see here, the Death Creep is still going pretty strong, but you shatter the Eternal Guard. Spider Riders in the back. The River Troll Hag, if she can heal, there's no reason we can't do well here. Spirit Leech on top of the Glade Lady, please. Actually, if we get on the Bronze Rate, that actually wouldn't be too bad either. We got a Spirit Leech there, get rid of their magic. Wouldn't be too bad. Having a couple of Earthbloods in the back pocket is always pretty decent. We're just going to move the River Troll Hag into firing range, and we're not going to compromise here with any of the Cavs. So that's going to be Army losses, GG's, and well played. A little bit of a mistake there from the Greenskin player. We actually wanted to keep the River Troll Hag behind and allow the River Troll Hag to heal whilst we get in with the remainder of the units, so that we can then sort of compromise the range. And the one thing that really won Call HR this battle is the ability to use his range super effectively, which is pretty much what the Wood Elves thrive on, mobility and range. Matthew Coffin, how are we, my friend? How are we? Hope we're doing very well. Hope we're doing very well. You guys managed to slip through my alarm. I missed out today. I know, Mark Clark. It's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate. Good. Bit hungover. Couldn't participate because of this. No problem. Logic, would you be invited to our Warhammer 3 release party on 18th February? Feel free, Mr. GG Gamer, feel free to send me a message in Discord and say, hey, what's up, Logic? Would you like to come join us for this event? And then come let me know, and then you can just let me know some more details. How can people handle so much stuff going on at once without getting a massive headache? It's a lot of things, really. It's a lot of practice and understanding. And when you have target prioritization down to a key, so you know here, so if we look at the forces of Cool HR, like what are the threats? Like what are the true threats in this build? So magic is always a threat. Magic is always a threat. And the Glade Guard. The Glade Guard here are the threat. Like Dryads will do well and Eternal Guards will do well, but they won't win the game. They won't win it for you because Grom will do it otherwise. So the threats, your strengths are Grom here. You got the Rivetor Hag, of course, magic is always strong. You got your Skirmish Cavalry that can do quite nicely in this matchup, and then obviously the Doom Divers. Now, he destroyed the Doom Divers pretty quickly. Grom got deleted, so pretty much most of the punch of this build was gone. And you know, Orc Boys are decent, but they're not gonna be Dryads. Like, they're just not gonna be Dryads. Dryads are just super cost efficient, and these have, you know, good shields and they're anti-large, armor piercing, so they'll bucket on Forest Spider Riders. Yeah. So the way we needed to win this is we needed to shut down the Glade Guard, and yeah, then we need to get on top of the magic. You get rid of those things in this build, and there's not too much punch left. You can still win, of course, but you know, they're the main threats here in the army. You know, especially these Starfire Shafts. Starfire Shafts by far were the biggest threat. So we can see here, Starfire Shafts 1.3 and 830. So you can see the 1.3k there. That would have been firing up against Grom. Of course, fire weaknesses here for Grom and the Giant Rivetor Hag, and they both pay for armor. These are armor piercing and do fire damage. So you know, they're going to be big threats here up against the hero core. So for me, it would have been simply. What do I need to do to protect my key units, which are the Doom Divers and Grom and the Rivetor Hag? What do I need to do? We'll make sure they don't get shot. Is the primarily one, and the other one is not get caught up by Eternal Guards, because you know, they'll do some work as well. They are specifically designed to deal with nice big large heroes that have armor. Yeah, so 750 there for Grom the Paunch with 150, 370 there for the Giant Rivetor Hag, 500, 306 there for the Goblins with 400, 380, 430. So yeah, pretty good overall. These are sort of 450 cost, but with Y, you'd really expect them to punch, you know, a little bit above their weight. 588 there for the Warlord's Boys, so decent from them, but only 700 there for the 8-peak Loonies. I didn't see any Swirlies. I didn't see any of the Fanatics coming out, so a bit of a micro one there. But you know, once we get on top of that micro from Matt, you know, these boys do very well. I really like the build from Matt. I really like the build. This is a strong build. Looks like here we got 800 from the Orc Biggins, so lovely work indeed. 480, 416, pretty good. 700 and 316. Spider Riders need to spend more time. So once you've engaged that infantry, you then need to spend more time there getting those Spider Riders in and amongst the just being an absolute nuisance on the Glade Guard for the whole game. Spider Riders and Goblin Wolf Riders, they just needed to compromise the range. You compromise the range, you don't need to kite. Like, sometimes these are very good if you have the range advantage. Otherwise, just compromise their strength sometimes. You know, just get in, shut them down, or force Glade Riders to be out of position, chasing these bad boys, and, you know, just doing all the good stuff, really. Yeah. Let's have a look here. So we're going to be getting 2,100 from the Glade Lady. Very good here with her nets. Arrows of Kurnos, very strong as well. She's also a big threat. So we've got 308 there for the Eternal Guard. The other Eternal Guard's 250, 450, and 216. So you see, they didn't actually punch that hard. They didn't really do that much on the battlefield, but what they allowed them to do is allowed the range to do very well. 200, 270, 360, 100, and 317. So the Dryads also didn't really have to punch that hard. You got 900 there for the Brian Traith, really nice penumbral pendulums. We also got, as you saw there, 900, 600, 400, 1,300, and 830. So these are going to weigh and above perform outside of the damage of the outside of all of the infantry, pretty much on average. Glade Rider's got 300, 200, 500, and 86. But Glade Rider Spears, you know, very strong indeed, very strong. They do suffer a little bit to Spider Riders. Spider Riders can do quite nicely. They have more armor, they have poison, and the melee stats, you know, these pay for speed. So, you know, if they get caught by Spider Riders can do quite nicely. VC ban High Elves, Dark Elves. Strong. Lizmen will be a great counter. Awesome. Alright, Pillar of Bone. So let's see what you guys are saying. I'll try and play if there's more than 2 to 3 things happening. Yeah, exactly what Maclock said. It's practice, really. It's identifying, and what I'll try and do for you guys in this game, what I'll try and do is I'll try and break down a little bit of what you expect to see. So, like, today, I did some Warhammer 3 games against another lovely guy here in the community who does content creation. It was very obvious to me that the player, you know, really nice dude, really enjoyed playing against him. But it's very obvious to me that they don't have any multiplayer experience because they don't know where the threats are, or where they had threats, they didn't identify them the way they needed to in the domination mode. And, you know, a lot of things that, you know, aren't so much of a threat here in multiplayer in Warhammer 2 certainly have different levels of threat on the battlefield for Warhammer 3. It's certainly more of a 3D dynamic. So although Eternal Guards here aren't very strong in sort of, a pitch battle sense. It's also the same there for domination, but they also have a bit of a different threat when it comes to being on the point. So if you have the actual domination point, infantry are actually a big threat because they're the one that pose the capture, the capture power to take on the domination points. I have the debug cam. If he was real Matthew, if he's the real Matthew, he'll play Norska. So Matthew Coffin, this is not you, yes? Because there is also another Matthew on here. So there's multiple Matthews that watch. I think there's 3 Matthews that watch my channel. Because I don't believe you're in the Shortbeard League, right? Mr. Matthew Coffin. I don't believe. Ah, Buttonized Mark, you are Mr. GG Gamer. Right, fantastic. Good to know, good to know. Quick read there. Awesome. Yes, debug camera is good pushover. It is good, but it's also knowing what to do with all that detail. So there's certain elements in the game, like being zoomed in and being zoomed out has its pros and cons. So being zoomed out, you can see the whole battlefield, and if you have a really good, thick understanding of the game, you know what needs to be done, and you don't need to zoom in so much. It can be okay, but of course, if you zoom out too much, you miss a lot of the finite details. Like, for example, your lord might be getting caught by X, Y, Z, and you might not be able to see how to get them out and all these kind of things. But I'd say overall, if you can learn to play on debug camera, it is good for pitch battles. I think it's less important for. I still think it's important for domination. I just think it's less important. Yeah. I am one of the Matthew that had to make an account because I lost my account. Ah, right. I see. Alrighty. So yeah, we are going to be moving on to the Pillar of Bone, the Bone Zone as I like to call it. A bit of a shame there's going to be no Bone Zone in Game 3 so far, but looking forward to it otherwise. Okay, so traditionally this is a tough one here for the VC. They're not very good against skirmish factions, so banning the High Elves and the Dark Elves is really, really good. Also, they have good elite infantry that is anti-large and armor piercing, and most of their monsters that do the damage are very large. So the fact that they also have armor piercing, they can really chew through any armor that is present, and they're pretty tanky indeed with good leadership, and for the most part, they have immune psychology, so like Blackguard and Agarond have ITP, anti-large, armor piercing. All their monsters are large, relatively armoured, and have terror. So, you pretty much counter all of their strong points. And also if you bring things like the Flaming Sword of Ruin, you also give them fire damage, because a lot of the big monsters actually have regen as well here coming in from the Vampire Count. So having fire damage is helpful. Lizardmen, the common way to go is a bit of a death blob, or uber wide. An uber wide kite or a death blob. Uber wide kite is the what I would say probably the elite tactic. It's extremely hard to pull off, but if you pull it off well here, you actually play a bit of a skirmish game with the Lizardmen. I think for some parts it's almost unbeatable if you're extremely good at it. The other way is to go with the Doom Blob and then hope that you can out-mortis them. Essentially, you go in with the the nice abilities. What I'm going to just quickly message Qualishar. I'm going to tell Qualishar he's allowed 1 max Bastillodon. Yes. If he is in Chad, he will go to Kai. Actually, you say this. Man, domination ain't fair for me, but I do still enjoy the content nonetheless. Man, domination ain't for me, but do you know what? One quick thing on the Nakai element. For Nakai, he's actually quite strong in this matchup. There's a couple of reasons why. What I like to do is you go into Kai with all the big monsters, and then you bring the Perfect Vigor, because then all of the monsters have Perfect Vigor, and they fight and just chew through bucket loads of infantry and just do all the good damage. They do all the good damage. Alright, so yeah, but domination is very good, and it may not look as exciting, but I would say, you know, for sure, something you guys will. I think when you play it, you'll have a different. I think you'll have a different respect for it when you play it. I think, yeah, I think you'll have a different respect for playing it. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, so a lot of people go like double Bastillodon. So in the current Fruit Rules meta, you normally go one Bastillodon Archosote, one Bastillodon Solar Engine, and then you'll go one other big monster. Maybe, you know, I've seen a lot of people bring the Dreadasaurian. It could do pretty well there. You know, VC do struggle to deal with big, large monsters, so you bring in the Dreadasaurian. You then go to Nakai, which brings the Perfect Vigor, and then you bring a Caster. So you can bring a Caster that has... you can actually go Heaven's Caster and like delete lots of infantry with like Wind Blast, etc. Or you can go like Ferromanticore Summon with like Wildson's Wild Form. That can also be pretty nice. I wish you the best in this feat, Matthew. Yeah. Can't wait for domination. Tired of fighting boxers every other game. Yeah, so I'd say pushover. Like I think in the early stages of the game, when it comes to sort of newer players, certainly what I see in the short bids, I just see big slams. Like people go, right, these are my armies, slam. They go together, and like that's not always the way to play. And you'll find actually as you get higher and higher through the leagues, you'll actually find that more and more people are actually kiting a bit. And yeah, you know, it really depends. Like, you know, as you start to understand, like, you can kite a bit, you can, you know, certainly cheese out certain mechanics, as it were. You'll find that changes, that not all games are all blobbing. So just waiting for these boys. Matthew, are you ready? Let's go. So as we jump into this one for you guys, what I'll do is I'll break down a little bit of the threats, and as each side, what you should be looking to do as the player, and what your target should be here. So another way as well, if you don't go the Dreadasaurian, you can go with the Skink Oracle, which actually comes with Earthblood as well. So you can have Earthblood, Harmonic Convergence, and Fireball, and you can rotate those spells and fight in a blob as well, which can be quite nice. You also bring a nice Slan build. Let's have a look here and see what we got today. So we are going to be having the Bastillodon, the Archosote. We are going to have the Solar Engine, which is what we expect. We are going to be having the Chameleon Skinks in the front. Skink Skirmishers in the front. So we'll be dealing with Fellbats and all those kind of nuisances as well. The Star Chamber Guardians, very, very good. Anti-large armor piercing. Also come here with Guardian as well. More Star Chambers. These boys are very sticky indeed. And the Co-Quarter Sotek Unbreakable. Refuse to die in Frenzy. And Frenzy is activated always because it's related to leadership. And these are unbreakable, so they always have 100 leadership. So in the back, we are going to have the Saurus Scar Veterans here. One with Foe Seeker, which is quite interesting. And the other one without. So, yeah, this bad boy here on the floor. They're going to be anti-large arm piercing. They're going to do all the good work. Lord Mazdamundi here with the Ruination of Cities, Banishment, the Shield of the Old Ones, Apotheosis, Net of Amantok, Cold-Blooded, and the Greater Arcane Conduit. So actually going here with his ability, which actually Qualic Chart didn't bring, which I'm really shocked to see he didn't bring. It does give missile resistance as well, but the most important one is it gives 10 melee defense. And that's in a box of 40 meters, and all of this is going to get an extra 10 melee defense. It's a bit of a shame here that he didn't come in here with his item. So what are the threats here in this build? Well, it depends what we've got. So let's see here what we have for the vampires. So in the front we are going to have bucket loads of zombies, 5 units, backed up here by Blood Knights and Fellbats in the sky. Graveguard, great weapons here on the front. And over here we are going to have a Necromancer, backed up by the double Vargolfs and more Black Knights with more Fellbats. So very interesting stuff there. So we have the triple infantry, the Necromancer, who is just going to have the Rod, the Shield, and Healing with the Vigor Mortis, and then Vlad von Carstein. So Vlad here with the Cast Iron Ring, here with the Master of Beguilement, which is very strong indeed. That can go on any enemy for negative 40 melee attack. The Arcane Conduit, Raise the Dead, the Invocation of Nehek, the Blood Drinker, with the Aura of the Dark Grandeur, which is really good for negative leadership. And then we're also going to be having the Curse of Undeath. So, what are the threats here to the build? So, anti-large armor piercing, we have the double Saurus Scar veterans. Also here we have fire damage for the Bastillon Solar Engine. So the bad boys will do some good work here up against the Vargols. So threats here are going to be the double Saurus Scar veterans, the double Bastillodons. They have 140 armor, and then Lord Mazdamundi. So one threat here for the infantry is going to be the Bastillodons. They'll be taking on the Graveguard, and they'll do some good anti-infantry work here with their spell as they get out the Poison Snakes. Big shot there in the front as well. They're going to delete Graveguard here. Nice 360 no scope from the Bastillodon. Now he can shoot and do some work up against the Vargols. Probably not worth it here though. Probably good just shooting up against the Graveguard infantry. But you can see here they're going to be really slow on the approach. Black Knights aren't going to do too much of this build. They could cycle charge to death on the flanks up against the Temple Guard. But the Blood Knights' big threats, of course, are these Temple Guard. Anti-large armor piercing, and even the cohort Sotate, they're unbreakable. They thump with a bucketload of armor piercing and poison. So they're still going to do some great work, even with 110 armor here for the Blood Knights. Shooting in the front there, you can see lots of damage coming up against the Graveguard. And of course, Mazdamundi is also a humongous threat. The man here has the Net of Amatog and Apotheosis. No harmonic convergence though, but we are going to shield the old ones, which is a good protection spell. Banishment and Ruination of Cities, which will delete a lot of your infantry. So there is certainly big threats here in the pocket. Now, the nice thing about Vlad against this build is, apart from the Bastillodons, the rest of this is all going to be anti-large. Oh, actually, Mazdamundi is anti-infantry, so he will do quite nicely against Vlad, actually. But it should be interesting to see what's going to happen. He's also going to struggle here. Pretty much all of this is armor piercing. Vlad does have 90 armor, but he's a pretty good duelist. 70 melee attack, good armor piercing for himself as well. He should be able to get in and do some work up against Mazda and the crew. So shots in the front here, you can see he's really spread out the damage from the Graveguard in the front. They're really smart there from Corn HR. He really wants to wither down the infantry, so when they do hit, it's going to be a lot easier here for the Temple Guards to do the work. Ruination of Cities, this could go anywhere. One of them's gonna, one goes down, oh my god. So one does a little bit of damage against Temple Guard, one wrecks a unit of zombies. Did that pay for itself? Absolutely not. These things are 100 gold, and you get 3 of those, I think, and they cost like 200 gold, so... You know, if the RNGesus does just pay dividends, you know, it certainly can. You know, you can get anything up to about, you know, 600, 800, 1,000. It's pretty unlimited what you can get, but you know, it can be pretty strong, can be devastating indeed. No matter, we are going to have double Fellbats fighting up against the cohort. They're doing pretty well. These boys are unbreakable. They'll hold. The shield the old ones gives damage resistance here. You can see to pretty much everything inside, and now it's going to be helping the Temple Guard as they fight. Now we are going to get a heal here somewhere. There was definitely a heal there coming out of Mazdamundi. In the front, the Star Chamber Gunners actually do magic damage as well, which is really nice. So any ethereal units they'll fight pretty strongly against. They'll circumvent that physical resistance. But in the back here, you're going to have Vargols not fighting. Now, these bad boys, they're about nearly 3k between them, and you're also going to have the Necromancer. It's not going to be able to do too much apart from buff the front. We're now going to be getting Mazdamundi charging out Vlad, and then the Graveguard as well. He's going to be helping. The Arca Sotek does do its ability in the front. It's really going to delete zombies and do some good work here up against Graveguard. Looks like we are going to get a banishment in the back here. It's going to collect up all of the Fellbats. Looks like here the Black Knights are going to be charging in. They're going to be anti-infantry. They don't really have too much armor piercing, so they can struggle against Temple Guard. But here we go. The double Vargols are in. These boys really pack a punch here with armor piercing. They can do some great work on the Bastillodon. Bastillodon has found himself in the wrong neighborhood, but that could all be changed. Temple Guard here certainly want to push out towards, yeah, there we go. So the Temple Guard are going to come out anti-large armor piercing, giving physical resistance as well here to Mazdamundi. But Master of Beguilement has been activated for Lord Mazda. So he's going to be doing no punch, so you might as well pull him out. He's not going to do any sort of winning here, and this is where all of the damage output is with the double Vargols and Vlad. And being he's got the Master of Beguilement for 44 seconds, he does have a minimum chance to hit, but it's only minimum. It's the lowest 1% chance to hit, because he's got no melee attack. So here, there's no point in having him in. He's just going to be getting punched here and taking damage. So you might as well pull him out, get the Temple Guard in, and then, you know, fight when the Master of Beguilement does drop. So in the middle here, we are going to have Saurus Scar veterans not doing so well. They're going to be fighting up against zombies, not really where they need to be. Skink Skirmishers will be losing here in the middle. Looks like it's going to be another summon in the pocket as well. Cohorts of Sotik are going to be falling, but these double Saurus Scar veteran really want to get out to the front here and help protect. They actually get physical resistance from the Temple Guard, from the Star Chamber Guardians. So having those fighting in the front with physical resistance or the anti-large armor piercing, they can do really nicely here up against the Vargols. The Vargols need to take out Mazda. He's the big threat. He's anti-infantry, armor piercing, comes with spells. Vargulfs need to punch down up against Mazda. He is the primary target. The second weaknesses for them are going to be the Sword of Scar veterans. And then after that, you're not really too bothered about the Basilion because now this thing's fighting in combat. In the back, though, we can see Temple Guard are being left to their own. Grave Guard will do some good work. Anti-infantry, armor piercing. Temple Guards do pay for anti-large, so you're not going to see any benefits there. But in the middle here, Sword Scar Veteran is trying to get out, but you can see this is what happens when you can't see too closely. He's getting stopped by 2 zombies. The zombies here are going to be stopping him from moving away, and that's why if you're zoomed really far out, you can't see that. So sometimes getting in nice and close and quickly can be advantageous. So Sword Scar Veteran is now going to be wrapping around the Vargulf. We get negative melee defense because he is getting rear charged here, and he's also going to be taking sort of negatives to leadership here. So we are going to get a Shield of the Old Ones, that's going to help protection. Also going to get extra protection there from the Star Chambers on the Heroes and Lords, and it's going to be all a nice day here in the middle pocket. Keeping these 3 together is pretty strong indeed. So Rune Shitties on the back here absolutely deletes the pockets of the vampires in the back. But in the middle here, I'm sure Vlad is going to be super healthy. Mazda is getting absolutely dumped on here. You can see the Vargulf with Vlad going up against Mazda. Going to be doing some great armor piercing damage. But this one here, the Vargulf is struggling pretty hard. He's down to 1000 HP, negative 33 leadership, so he will be crumbling. And the double Saurus here are moving in. 1 Master Beguement on this Saurus Spear. So just get him out. He doesn't need to fight. He's just going to take damage. That's what he's going to do. We can see here the Bastillodon. He's going to be getting that cold-blooded for 16 leadership. So we're going to try and see if we can get him back here into the game. So the Vargulf has pretty good speed, 80 speed. So, you know, he can go chase here. But we are also going to be chasing... Oh, look at that charge bonus, pushing everybody into combat up against the Vargulf. Now, Net of Amatok needs to be used here on the Vargulf to protect the Bastillodon, but it really depends if we have the mana to do so. Looks like that is going to be the case. So Net of Amatok has been used here. That is going to pin in the Vargulf in place, and now we can do the work, and the Bastillodon should return. Get another Apotheosis here, and we'll get the big boy back to do the good, juicy work later on. Now, the problem here with the Vampire Counts, you can see here, these are going to be on negative leadership for the Grave Guard, so they will be taking damage over time, and it's going to be really slow to catch up. Sword Scar Veterans will struggle against Vlad von Carstein. Mazda should do quite nicely, but these bad boys, they do have enough armor piercing to punch, but the anti-large is going to make them struggling to hit. They're doing some lovely work here up against the Vargulfs. The double anti-large heroes are just super strong indeed. Just super strong. Star Chamber Guardians want to get back in, just even if they're around to give that physical resistance, it's really handy. Basilion Solar Engine is going to turn and burn here. Blood Knights should fall. We are going to see the little skinky boys on the side here. They're going to be throwing their javelins into the side of the Blood Knights. Nice big 360 no-scope as well. Cold-Blooded is going to be activated to give it leadership so it shouldn't break again. Apotheosis here going on Mazda, but Mazda is getting dumped, but he's getting everybody around him so he can use a banishment to delete all this cheap infantry. So that's going to delete all of the cheap chaff around him with the zombies and the Grave Guard. And then we should be able to just take out the rest. But Mazda is falling here. Balance of Power does favour Matthew here in the Vampire Counts, but that is simply only because Vlad is so healthy. But he here is now going to be at his healing cap. He does have the Blunt Drinker, so he can heal very, very well indeed. Mazda just wants to get out of here. We need to be getting these Star Chambers in. Pull Mazda out. Mazda does break at 500 HP. Someone of the zombies is probably going to push out here on top of the Bastillodon. This bad boy is going to be shooting from range. So coming through here is going to be these Star Chambers. They're going to give physical resistance to these Sword of Scar Veterans. But the Scar Veterans, they don't need to fight. The Bastillodon here counts as an artillery piece, so as long as he's shooting, it's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. So Mazda here is going to be having -7 leadership. Could we get a cold-blooded on him? We do have it here for the Sword of Scar Veterans, so there should be 2 activatable abilities here to go on Lord Mazda Mundi. So that would actually bring him to a positive and would bring him back, and then we could heal him. So it looks like that's not going to be used at the moment, which is quite an interesting one. The 2 heroes should be able to do some work here up against Vlad. You can see it's more and more favouring. Nice finish there on the Necromancer. Necromancer is going to be giving bonuses to Vlad. He's going to give him 75 melee attack and 55 melee defense. We do break with 1 Sword Scar Veteran. He actually gets terrified because Vlad does cause terror. But here we do shatter with the Necromancer. So the stats are going to get reduced here for Vlad. We now do get back Mazda Mundi. The problem is going to be here is he needs to get back in. We need to get some healing. Now, we don't have to fight Vlad here. 1-on-1 is not necessary. We don't have to do this. Temple Guard are coming back. We could drop back to the Temple Guard and allow the Temple Guard to assist with the Sword Scar Veteran. Now he has Master Beguement. We definitely want to get out. He's not going to do any damage. He's only going to take damage in return. And Vlad really can fight very hard indeed. So this here is a mistake from Cool HR. Really, I've seen it do it a couple of times. Oh my god, that's going to be army losses. Well played there. GG's well played. GG's well played. And I think there was a couple of mistakes there coming in from Call HR, where Master Begwent was used really, really nicely, and it was giving negative 40 melee attack to his Lord and a couple of his heroes as well, where he just continued that fighting, and it was to no benefit of him. So he just needs to get those units out of there and make sure that they're not fighting. So Master Money, 3,280. Very nice indeed. 1,400, 1,300 for the Sword of Scar Veteran, with 850 for the Cohort Sotek. 180 kills, 830. 1,450 for the Temple Guard, and 730 for the Star Chamber Guardians. 35 there for the Skink Skirmishers, with 850 for the Bastillodons, with 1,350 for the for the Solar Engine. I think there, College R definitely should have won that. For sure, he definitely should have won that. If he'd used Cold-Blooded, I think, a little bit more efficiently, he didn't always have to fight as well. Like, fighting up, like, for example, for the Sword Scar Veterans, they are great heroes, but they're very good with anti-large targets. Now, of course, a much better field, and the Sword Scar Veterans just didn't need to take that fight. Had them, but they decided to fight in sort of a one-on-one. Ducky, yeah. Can you check my YouTube, please? My PC's just crashed, and I think I might have to reset. My stupid PC has crashed, so I'm just going to quickly restart it and see if I can get back on. Right, I don't know if people can hear or see me. I think I should be back online now, I hope. Hopefully people can see me. That was a quick fire. We can see and hear you. Hey, there we go. Well, thank you very much, Ducky, for helping me with that as well. God damn it. God damn, what a mess. We can hear you. Thank you very much. Hey, Jack, how we doing? Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Quack. Gringo Ironhide. Wow, how we doing, my friend? Welcome. The big war is back. Cool. Let's group of well-trained ducks have been sent to fix your PC. I love it. I feel your pain. Just spent today installing a new Warhammer 3 capable GPU. Certainly wasn't plug and play. I love that. How are we doing, Mr. Parker? I hope you're doing well, my friend. I hope you're doing well. I'm hoping we're going to be seeing you, my friend, in Warhammer 3 as well. I'm super excited to see how you're going to enjoy it. I think you'll really enjoy it, Parker. I think you really will. Yeah, the Amazing Ducks have done all the disasterly things that need to be done, and now it looks like we're going to be back online. Yep, I will be hosting that. Lovely stuff. So, classic logic, of course, updating the scores as always. You know, I'm very good at updating scores. I'm sure you're used to my updating score abilities. It's actually going to be one apiece here, which is going to be quite fun indeed. And, yeah, pretty good stuff so far. Right, let's see if we get the boys in. I don't think I have Matthew added. So, I think once College R makes his way over. Right, so it's going to be El Yak East fighting up against Mr. Undead in the other semi-final. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic. Sue! What's up? Doing well. Waiting on the drop. Domination mode is what I wanted. Nice! Let's go, Parkerilla. You'll really enjoy it, my friend, I think. You'll really enjoy it. Where's Noska? Logic, we're going to have some fun 2v2s like Nurgle versus Ogres or Kislev. Yeah, so essentially, for you guys, I'm I'm going to be dropping a couple of questions on YouTube. There'll be a couple of polls that will be coming out over the next few days with me asking you, what do you want? I basically can just go absolutely berserk next week and do whatever I want. So I'm thinking a video or a live stream every day on YouTube, and then some sort of content every day on Twitch. So whatever you want is what I'm going to give you. Are ogres good? Yes. Ogres are good. Never fear, the ogres are here. Alrighty. We are going to be back. Let's go here with Summer Song. So the map of Summer Song, yes. I think from that last game from Call HR, I think there was a couple of things there that you know, engaging when he didn't need to engage. You know, a little bit of optimization there on Cold-Blooded, when to use it as well. Remembering you have it. Logic, could you please do a music video to the song CPR? That's my request. You dancing. Dear God. How come you're going to go berserk next week? So for those who don't know, when I say I'm going to go berserk next week, in 4 days on the 10th, I actually get Warhammer 3 access. So I can just post loads of content. Warhammer 3, Warhammer 3, Warhammer 3. Sweet, 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 sweet. So I've been playing a lot of the game. I've been getting some replays, playing up against the casters, etc. So yeah, I'm super excited to be getting all that stuff for you guys. Yep. Good stuff. So we're going to be on the Summer Song. So I'll update that here. Just seeing what maps have been played today. Make sure we get the right ones. Also, we will be having a new mic, hopefully, in the next 2 days or so. So we have a new mic as well. A Berserk Field Frenzy Rampage. What's not to like? Exactly. Parker really gets it. Parker really gets it. Also, Parker Rilla, just to ask, how's your son? How's his leg? You said he really badly hurt himself playing football. How's he doing? Is he managing to recover well? How's things going there? And is he going to be back for Warhammer 3? Because I'd like to see him playing as well. Okay, my 3 picks are Dark Elves, High Elves, and Lizardmen. Ooh, cheeky selection. Bands. What are we thinking of banning here? So, against the Elven factions, Greenskin's pretty good. Especially against Dark Elves and High Elves, you definitely want to be seeing a Greenskin ban. But you can only burn one there. So if he goes Greenskins, he could ban Lizardmen, then he's got Dark Elves or High Elves. So Greenskins, in my opinion, has to be banned here. What else can do quite nicely here? Probably Bretonia. Because if he goes Bretonia, also bans Lizardmen. Like Bretonia against Dark Elves and High Elves could be pretty tough, I think. I think they would be the tough ones, I would say. So I'd say probably Greenskins and Bretonia need to be the bans here. Healing up slowly, 6 to 8 months out of action, and I'm working on persuasion techniques to get into play Warhammer 3. Nice, get it in there. Get it in there. Get it in there. By the way, Logic, what is the worst map in your opinion? For Warhammer 3 CJDJ or in the Warhammer 2? Corn, Pogers. Logic, when will Slanesh be revealed? It will be revealed on my embargo on the 10th. So my first video is Slanesh. It will be a Slanesh against Nurgle, I think. Slanesh against Nurgle. I've got a pretty nice game of me playing Slanesh. Yeah, it's fun, man. It's fun. It's really, really good. So, Dark Elves and High... oh, hang on. So, Brett and Green said, it's almost like Matt heard me on live stream with my bans. Almost. But he's going to ban Brett and Greenskin. So, Dark Elves ban High Elves. Interesting. I still think the High Elf Dark Elf matchup, it used to be High Elf favored, but I think it's now Dark Elf favored. I think. With the evolution of Dark Elves. And I still think we take Lizardmen here. I think we take Lizardmen here, and we go hard with Matt. I think we just absolutely put it on him, and we look to go pretty strong. Persuasion techniques equals free copy of the game. Ah, I see, Parker. Nice. It is. I will force you to play by giving you the product. I love it. Yes, fantastic. Fantastic stuff. Getting your son to play games. That's a first. Yeah, man. Well, I mean, listen. I've never thought that, I've never seen gaming as a bad thing. Gaming's only a bad thing if it, like, entirely takes over your life. That doesn't then have a financial benefit for you. So, like, if it doesn't support your life, but it completely takes over your life, that's when I think it becomes bad. But I think things like gaming is a really nice supplement to your, a nice addition to your life. I think it's really, really good. And, if you play it in a wider community, it's really fun. And, I've really loved being part of the Warhammer community. I love being part of the Shortbeards and, helping new players get into the game and improvement. And I just like the overall community as well. It's really, really nice to be fun. Almost everybody that I've met, almost everyone, if not actually everybody, has been super nice. So, yeah, can't complain. Indeed. All right, so we have some more support here coming in from Matthew. Oh, late game support at the end there. I like it. All right, so this is going to be game 3 here between, of course, Cordichar and Matt. And it looks like we are, sorry, just quickly looking at the units. No problem. I think here I think Matt's probably going to go with Lizardmen, but we could see the Dark Elf Mirror here. Dark Elf Mirror, I think Dark Elves and Wood Elves are certainly some of the best factions from Cordichar. Them and maybe Beastmen. Take your time. Now, what would I do if I was the Lizardmen player? So let's say your video games cause violence. There was actually a study done on that, and was proved horribly wrong. And that was proved to not be true whatsoever at all. Oh, got away with that, didn't I? Hey, is this the last tournament before Domination takes over us all? No, so my last ever tournament is going to be this Wednesday. That is open to everybody. Anybody can play. So let me open this up here. We are going to get an extra logic page. So it's a really, really fun tournament. Super fun. It's called, if it will load, it's called Death, Destruction, Order, Honor, and Chaos. So it used to be called Death, Destruction, Honor, Death, Destruction, Order, and Chaos, but we had to make some changes. So the way it kind of works is you come into the tournament, and you pick either Death, Destruction, Order, Honor, or Chaos. You pick one of those 5. Whichever one of those 5 you pick, you have to play the responding factions in that alliance. So if you're Death, you get Vampire Counts, Vampire Pirates, and Tomb Kings. You get all of the Death factions. And you have to play those throughout the whole tournament in best of 3s. If you play the Destruction, your Greenskins, Dark Elves, Skaven. If you play Order, it's Empire, Lizardmen, Wood Elves. Wood Elves doesn't quite fit in there, but Wood Elves was the one that I didn't really know where to shove. Honor is Bretonnia, Dwarfs, and High Elves. It's all about Honor. And then Chaos is the Warriors of Chaos, Norska, Beastmen. So, yes, let me leave a link to you guys here so you can register. But yeah, it's best of 3s throughout the entire tournament, and you get to pick one of them essentially. So, no Dow versus the World Final. No, sadly, CJ, I didn't get time to do it. I really wish I could have had time. I really did want to organise it, but the problem is it's a huge amount of organisation of a minimum of 30 people to get together, plus myself, all on the same day at the right time. And it was an amazing tournament to do the first one. It really was. But the problem was, there's just not enough people at the moment are playing. It's really hard to get 15 Dwarf players that are still currently playing the game and keeping up to date with it all. So I removed it. I just said I just don't have time to organise that. You know, I'd have to go, not pretty far out of my way, but I'd have to. It would have taken a lot of effort for me to get people together, and I don't have time right now with Warhammer 3 around the corner. Also, for those that are sort of hanging around today, there's been a couple of updates here for the Discord as well. So we've added a role request, so you guys can now put down like your GMT times. So for me, I'm in the UK, so GMT 0 to 3 is where I exist, and you can put down. We put in an LFG bot, so looking for games. So if you guys are looking for games at a particular moment, you can click on the swords that will give you looking for games for Warhammer. And then, you can go in the looking for games and go at LFG, and then anyone that has that current tag, you'll get pinned in for games. So yeah, we got a bunch of more things coming. We've added a bot to the server. There's going to be leveling. There's going to be all sorts of things. Really looking to update pretty much everything here. Pretty much everything for Warhammer 3. Pick Nikai or no win. Indeed, Matthew. I'll be up for that as my final game of compared to Warhammer 2 via Chaos. Nice, Parker. I'd love to see you play, man. I'd love to see you play. But the nice thing as well is that, if you pick one of these, so if you do go with Death, you're just Death. If you go with Chaos, you're just Chaos. Which is really, really fun. And, they're the only 3 factions you can use for the entire tournament. So you're not going to see the same old, you're not going to see like Beastmen, Wood Elves, Lizardmen picked every time with Dark Elves. You're going to see a good mixture. And let's say you're a person from Death up against a person of Chaos, you're like, okay, so which one do I want to use first? Because if you go to game 3, you have to use what's left. So let's say we see Vampirates against, if you see Vampire Counts against, let's say, up against Norska, that seems a pretty sensible matchup. Let's say you see those two, and then we see the second game, let's say that's Vampire Pirates against Beastmen. It means then the final game will be, what's the last one? It will be Warriors of Chaos. There will have to fight up against Tomb Kings. So it takes a bit of strategy, a little bit of thinking. It's outside of the box, and it really forces something different. Forward speedrunning all the tournaments, all the short beards, seeing how quickly you can beat all of them. I'll be honest, I was zoning out here, and my head and my name just about had a heart attack. Logic, fun fact: I don't even have Warhammer 2, so Warhammer 3 will be my first. Well, nice, GG Gamer. So I have to remind myself of your name on the Discord. Buttonized Mark, yeah, it'd be nice there. If you get Warhammer 3, then feel free to come join the short beard. So for those that don't know, actually. So where do I choose which group I should be on? So what you do is you join on the poll on challenge. So once you've joined the game, once you've joined the challenge page, go down to participants on yourself, and then you'll edit. You'll go edit on your person. And then when you edit it, you'll edit your name, press space, in brackets, write who you're going to be. You'll see, for example, Pantelenard, the absolute champion, has put ODM Pantelenard in brackets honor. And Tretch here has done death, so there's going to be a bunch of cool elements in there. So you can, you can write yourself down for whatever you want to play. So you can write down whoever you want to be. Everyone, have fun with the stream. Go to sleep early tonight. Good night, everyone. Well, Mr. GG Gamer, don't know where you're from, but it seems like, maybe over sort of the east side of Europe. But good night, my friend. You take care of yourselves, and we'll be seeing you soon. Thank you very much for hanging out today. Hope you had a fantastic time. And looks like both players are going to be ready. We are going to be in the game 3 here of the semi-finals. I hope you guys are having a good time. If you are, do feel free, of course, to smash that like button. It really does help here on the channel. And also do feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. Both of those really, really help the channel. And I can't say this enough. If you don't have a YouTube account and you're watching, even if you just make one and you like every video and you subscribe, it really, really does help. Like, it really helps a lot and more than you know. For example, if 10 of you that are watching on average just go ahead, make an account and actually subscribe, that's a 1% change here on my channel. Like, it's huge. It's huge. If just, it's just a, it's huge, man. It's absolutely huge. It's so much bigger than, the more subscribers I get, the more likes you get, the more it gets promoted. The bigger I get, the more I can give you. The more of my time. More early access and, these kind of things. Ducky has really grown to himself and he got earlier access than me and he's been doing really, really well. I'd like to be able to, replicate those results and, try and see if I can also get on earlier with him as well and just give you more here for the multiplayer scene. So we are going to have Dark Riders with repeater crossbows here in the front. So 2 units, backed up here by the double Reaper bolt throwers. So, repeater crossbows with bolt throwers, pretty good indeed. We are going to see Cheer Frontline of Bleak Swords and Dread Spears. Backed up by the Sisters of Singing Doom. Good terror here in the front, with of course Frenzy and the Murderous Prowess, which we'll go through in a moment. And a buckload of Dark Riders and 1 unit of the Cold One Dread Knights. Do apologise. So the Cold One Dread Knights here, the bad boys indeed. Bucklers of armor piercing, 120 armor. They can rampage, so we do have to be careful, but also they do come with the Murderous Prowess. So the Sisters of Singing Doom, the lovely thing about these ladies, just for a little bit of extra cost, they do actually come with Terror. So they get bonuses on the stats, they also keep the Madness of the King, which is quite nice. They are anti-infantry, they do have Frenzy, they have the Murderous Prowess, which comes for 2 minutes instead of 90 seconds. So they get an added 30 seconds of these bonuses. You can see 25% increase to melee attack, which is really good. Charge bonus, Vigor, Fear, and they also get that 15 leadership. Really important there for the Druchi. Those 2 minutes are where they really thump very hard. In the middle, we are going to have Malekith, the big legend here in the middle. He's going to be here just with Soul Stealer, literally nothing else. So we are going to be having the Chameleon Stalkers here on the flanks. They can get some juicy charges in there for sure. Juicy charges. Can't see anywhere else. So here in the front, we're seeing some of the repeater crossbows. We are going to see some Chameleon Skinks. Actually, it's going to be Skink Skirmishers as well. So Chameleon Skinks, Skink Skirmishers. The Saurus Warriors, backed up here by the Cold Ones. A buckload of Skink Cohort Javelins, extremely strong here in the current meta. Saurus Warriors with shields. We are going to be having some more Cold One Riders. They pay for lots of armor piercing, but you don't pay too much for much else. The Cold One Spear Riders pay quite a bit for anti-large as well, so you'll see their weapon strength go down, but they get bonuses there to their anti-large. Mr. Caradoc, how are we, my friend? I hope you're doing very well. Hope you're doing very well. Also, Mr. Caradoc, are you playing this Wednesday? Are you playing this Wednesday is the question. Let me get the register. I don't know if I pinged this in here. I don't think I did. But just so you guys know, this is the challenge page. Go in there and sign up to it. So that's going to be the Death. Let me get that right. Death, Destruction, Order, Honor, and Chaos. Super fun tournament. Should be really enjoyable if anybody wants to play. That will be my final Total War Warhammer 2 tournament. So if you want to participate, please feel free to. But how are we doing, Caradoc? Hope we're doing well, my friend. Hope we're doing well. Thanks. Good luck with your son/free game. I can't decide between Chaos or Destruction. Yeah, man, it's a couple of tough ones. So nice charge here in the front with the Dark Riders on the Chameleon Skinks. Yeah, nice, good work there. Chameleon Skinks, their big weakness there is cavalry, especially the very fast Dark Riders with shields. Repeater crossbows in behind. These are a little bit stacked. I've seen these problems a few times here from new players as well. That is one nice little spell away there from being deleted for sure. So the Lord choice here is going to be Mazdamundi on the chair. Mazdamundi here on the chair will certainly do the business if you give him the opportunity. He'll be having the Ruination of Cities, the Banishment, Shield of the Old Ones, Apotheosis, Node of Amatoch, and the Greater Arcane Conduit. So charging here, you can see the Cold One Riders, 66 speed, but we have 92 there for the nice Archer Riders. So they're going to be coming back here with their crossbows. We're going to be going forward here with the Cold One Dreadknights. These bad boys will come in with a big nice thump, and the bolt throwers will be shooting them in the face. And this is the problem here. They can skirmish and shoot, and you can try and chase all you like, but these are just not fast enough to catch the cavalry. And the bolt throwers will make them pay here, because of course here, now they're going to be getting shot and taking a lot of damage. The front line is going to take a little bit of a while here to get forward. So in the middle, the Dark Riders, they're going to be just dropping back here. More of the Cold Ones are going to be coming around the flanks. I do like the Feral Cold Girls, they're pretty much the same, but, the pretty much here, for the majority, for these Cold One Riders, pretty much the Rampage just gives you bonuses. It just gives you bonuses if you do Rampage. Whilst just the Feral Cold ones, they don't give any bonuses, but they cost nearly twice as much. I'm not a big fan of these ones, I don't think. So we're going to shoot in the middle here. We're going to be getting some nice damage on the Dark Riders. We are going to be shooting in the front here with the Skink Skirmishers. I don't think we've quite realised in the front here. These boys are literally on the front. The Bleak Swords could just charge forward and meet them. Looks like they are going to be seen now. So now we're going to be charging forward with the infantry. Skink Skirmishers just going to drop back. But nice damage here on the Dark Rider shields. Nice stuff indeed. Javelins coming over the top. They will be shooting here into the Bleak Swords. You can see Silver Shields, though, will be holding nice and high. And here we are. We are going to get a charge with the Source Warriors. They're going to bop their way right into the middle here and do the good juicy damage. So not too sure. This might be a Soul Stealer here. It looks like it is going to be a Soul Stealer. Soul Stealer is going to catch 1, 2, 3, 4 units here, including the cohorts of Sotek. So holes are starting to appear here in the forces. You can see holes coming in where we can get into the middles here on the repeater bolt throws. So having 1, 2, 3, 4 units all in the middle here. 5, 6 units all in the middle. Not doing too much is a little bit unfortunate. Certainly want to be getting the cavalry in here, doing the good work. So the cavalry looks like it's going to come from the flanks, but we need to shut down these Reaper bolt throwers. We need to really shut them down. You can see here, the Cold One Dreadknights have been left on the side. That's a lot of investment there, not doing too much. Repeater crossbows in the back as well, also not doing too much. Mazdamundi has been left on his own. Cold Riders are going to be charging here up against the repeater crossbows. But Mazda being left on his own, it's a bold strategy, Cotton, but we are going to get in the middle here and now start causing some work. Source Warriors are going to break the front line. The Sisters take a lot of damage. They don't have any armor, 5 armor here, so the Source Warriors that don't pay for that much up. They do have good armor piercing, but not that much. They're not known for it. They'll rip Sisters pretty quickly. They'll rip them pretty quickly. So Javelins in the back here are going to be compromising the Reaper bolt throwers. We certainly want to shut those down because they're going to just bolt our cavalry here to death. And hopefully we should be able to get in the back here and do the good work. So repeater crossbows here are going to be firing massively into the backside of the Cold One Riders. Maz needs to get forward. He has nets as well. You could just overcast net and you'd pin all of that in. And then you could just charge him with the cavalry. But you need to obviously play this a little bit, understand as well what the overcasting mechanics do. So Maz is going to be coming through. He should be able to come and help the big boys here in the middle. And it's like here is going to be another Soul Stealer on top of Malekith. That's going to be catching 1, 2, 3, 4 units. That's why having these all bobbed up together is not always that good. And you can see in the back here, we are going to have the Dread Spears fighting up against the Source Warriors and the Skink Cohorts. A break here for the Reaper. Oh, it's actually going to be a shatter for the Reaper Bolt Thrower crews. Break here on the second one. Nice work there from the Cold One Riders. Matt's really sort of composed himself here. He's going to be getting in the back, doing all the good juicy work. We are going to see a Shield of the Old Ones here. That's going to be helping protect all of these units in the pocket. Now, Javelins want to get through. They want to go do the good work. Ruination of Cities in the back is going to catch a lot of the Dread Spears here. So 1 there, 2 there. 3 there, all going in this direction. So actually, it's not really going to do too much. You can see all of them missed. It's completely random. You have no control over it. There's nothing you can do about it, unfortunately. Nice banishment here in the middle. Actually catches a lot of these units. So very nice there. It's going to catch the Sisters and some Bleak Swords and some Cavalry. And then we are going to charge to the back here, try and see if we can compromise Lord Mazda. In the middle, Malekith certainly wants to duel the big man here if he can. Get on and do some good armor-piercing damage. Mazda's not known as that great of a melee combatant. In the middle here, we could hopefully get a... If we had Harmonic Convergence, we could certainly use it here, maybe on some Cavalry or the Cohorts, give them some melee attack increases to help fight up against Malekith. But here, it looks like the Skink Cohort Javelin is going to keep Malekith pretty busy. Here on the sides, we do see the Dread Spears fighting up against the Skink Cohorts and the Swords here on the side. Skink Skirmishers, they're still going to be shooting here. And, they'll do pretty good here up against Dark Riders. Do they have missile resistance? They actually don't have missile resistance. But the Chameleon Stalkers, not the Chameleon Stalkers, the Chameleon Skinks do. So Mazda here is going to be fighting up against some Dread Spears. These bad boys are going to be anti-large, I believe about 13, 14. Maybe even 15 here, perhaps. Going to be 14 anti-large, pretty decent armor piercing as well. Mazda doesn't have that much armor, but you know they can pierce pretty hard. You know, so Mazda here is certainly going to be in a bit of a hard place. But on the toilet share, he's got some good mass, so we can just pull through his own infantry and you know say see you later. In the middle of the, we do have the mobility advantage here with, of course, the Dark Riders repeater crossbows. They certainly want to challenge the cold ones if they can. Cold ones will also rip apart a lot of this infantry. Good armor piercing values. They do have shields as well, so that can negate a lot of the incoming armor piercing missiles. In the middle here, skink skirmishers should be able to fire here up against the Dark Riders. Want to push these skinks over here and actually see if we can, like, you know, get some couple of shots onto these skinks. It's more important to keep alive with these skink skirmishers. Show the odd ones in the middle here. We are going to get Malekith on top of Lord Mazdamundi. This is looking pretty difficult here for Matthew. He hasn't left a lot here to play with. A lot of his infantry is going to be falling apart. The Dark Riders should be able to do the work. Mazda is taking a bit of a punch here. This is where netting Malekith is really important. We're actually going to be healing the Saurus Warriors. A little bit surprised that Malekith has left the battle. But I guess here the anti-large Dread Spears should do the work. So it's going to get away here. He is 34 speed. It's 33 there for the Dread Spears. So they are going to be in chase. But looks like here the Dark Riders. If we get all three Dark Riders here shooting up against Mazda, it's it's the end of the day here. There's no way to come back into it. These Source Warriors are going the wrong way to support Mazda. So just ignore it. Just shoot Mazda and it's pretty much done here. Net of Amantok here just on one of the Dark Riders. Banishment here up against these two. Now, if anything can turn the game, this is it. Depends how the Banishment goes. Banishment goes all the way down the line here. It's going to get away. That's really unfortunate. Ruination could be a little bit late here. If it goes in this direction, great. It's going to go in that direction. No way! No way! That is so goddamn good. That is so goddamn good for Matthew. But the problem is you're losing Mazdamundi for this. Mazdamundi needed to net Malekith, not anything else. There was nothing else you needed to net. You needed to net Malekith. That Ruination was so goddamn good, though. Saurus here are going to help. Cohort Sotic are going to be charging up against Mazda. You need to delete Malekith. The problem is Soul Stealer here certainly could come down on this blob and could finish off the fight. We do have the Arm Piercing Column Riders in, though. They can do some work up against Malekith. There's no reason Matt cannot get back into this. Saurus Warriors need to come back to the pocket immediately, and there we go. It's exactly what I expected. It's going to be a Soul Stealer, and that's probably going to be the end of the game. Yeah, that's army losses. Yeah, GG's well played. As soon as that Soul Stealer symbol comes out, you just need to get away. You need to get away, because that just triggered army losses. Yeah, GG's well played indeed. GG's well played. Yeah, we had a bucketload of the Cold One Dread Knights here in the back. A bucketload of them. Hello, how are you? Hey, Victor, how's it going, my friend? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I haven't heard, but I am free. Nice. Yeah, Karadok is my last tournament, my friend, so feel free to jump in and come get involved. I'd love to see you there if you could be there. So yeah, it's just going to be the cohort left. They're going to get finished, and that is going to be GG's well played. Yeah, Master on the chair just doesn't have too much support, unfortunately. 1,270 there for Malekith, 165 kills. Kind of find him in the wrong place quite a lot of the time, just fighting up against cheap infantry. You know, he's a very good lord, very good melee combatant. You know, having him just pressure Mazdamundi probably, you know, from the rip would have been pretty nice. But we can see there 520 from the Bleak Swords. Pardon me, 300 and 340 there, with 450, 150, 900 here from these Dread Spears, with 370 and 530. These would have been the ones poking up against Mazdamundi. 400 from the Sisters of Singing Doom. Not often seen in this matchup, just due to like Skink Cohort Javelins, Chameleon Skinks, and Stalkers, and all these kind of things. We are going to have the 460 there, and 325 from the Dark Riders. 530 from the Shielded Variety, with 900 from the Cold One Dread Knights. 708 there for the Dark Riders, with 900 and 800. Pretty good. 770 and 570 from the Reaper Bolt Throwers. Yeah, pretty good stuff indeed. Pretty good stuff indeed. Is it possible to join the tournament now, or what's up? So, Victor, this tournament here is the Short Bid tournament, which is for new players specifically. So if you are a new player and you'd like to become a Short Bid, feel free to join on the Discord, which I'm hoping here one of the admins could do, and then get in there and start talking to the guys about joining the league. But essentially, this is a close tournament. We are actually in the finals at the moment. We've just done the first semi-final, moving into the other semi-final, and then we'll move into the grand final. So sadly, unfortunately, you cannot join at this current moment. But if you'd like to sign up for the other tournament we have on Wednesday, you'd be more than welcome to do that. You can sign up all the way until the start of the tournament for sure. So, we are going to be 2-1 there for Mr. Call HR. Great victory there from him. Came back there after his loss. Right, see, that's GG's well played. GG's well played. Thanks for a great answer. No problem, Victor. Yeah, we'll be getting you. We'll try and see if we can get you into the Discord, get you playing, and yeah. So on the Discord as well, for all of you guys that are perhaps new, for all those that are coming in, we're actually going to be having under the leagues section, which is where you under leagues you'll actually be finding all of the short bid stuff. And so short bid league is all offer at the moment for the league section. We're actually going to have a short bid information page, which will actually be giving information towards the short bids, what it is, how you get involved, and all these kind of things. We have a short bid announcement section where you guys can see all the announcements that myself and the admins will be putting up there. So that'll be live streams for anything short bid related, tournaments for anything short bid related, and all the league information. So anything that's super important will be in that channel. There'll be an overall short bid chat now. So the tournament and also league are not split anymore, they're together. It's just a short bid chat, and then there'll be a short bid stats section, which you guys can check out the stats that I put up. So every single season I work with the admins, we collect all this data of, let's say if dwarfs play against dark elves, and let's say the dwarfs win, dwarfs will have a win there, and we add that all up, and we look at the percentages of how many times a faction is picked, and then we look at the percentage overall. So for example here, overall, Warriors of Chaos are picked 13% of the time in all 3 leagues. Lizardmen are picked 12% of the time in all 3 leagues. So you can say there, 25% of the time you're going to be seeing Lizardmen or Warriors of Chaos from your leagues. So yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff. So yeah, we're really trying to see if we can develop the Discord now so we can make it user friendly and we can make it as informative as possible. Right, gents, thank you so much. We'll be see you in the final call HR. Sorry, boys, I'm going to kick you just so we can kick on with that. So I'm just going to kick Matt there, and then we're going to kick call HR. We'll see you in the final, buddy. Just so we can move on to the next one. So we are going to be having. Let's have a look here. We are going to be having. Let's put that in here. So call HR does take the first dub. Then Matthew came up with a dub, and then it was going to be Call HR there. So yeah, GG's well played on that one. So Undead up against El Yak East. Now will be in the second semi-final. Yeah, it's also a little bit of a tidbit from me to you guys as well. We'll go back and make the lobby in a second. So for those that don't know, if you go here into battles, you go custom battle. So one thing I was talking about with overcasting, etc. So if you go here to the Lizardmen, let's say we pick Mazdamundi and he comes with the Net of Amatok. Now you can overcast every single spell in the game, and it's about realizing what that does. So if we go here to the unit information, there's a little icon here called the spell browser. So if we open this up, you can actually go and it'll actually bring you to the Winds of Magic you have selected. So if I come in here with a Beast Caster, and I do this one, it'll actually bring up the Beast section. So it brings you up whatever you've got highlighted. So if I go to Mazda, it will now come up to his Winds of Magic. Now this is not entirely his Winds of Magic, because Mazda has a different selection. He is a high caster, you can tell, because his passive is Rolling Skies, which is for the high casting. Oh, is that high caster? Sorry, it's not high caster, that's a Heaven's Caster. So Heaven's Caster gets the Rolling Sky. So he's actually a Heaven's Caster, but he actually has more spells than that. So if we go here with Mazda, you won't see Net of Amatok, but if you go to the light Lord of Light, you'll see the Net of Amtok. If you want to see what this spell does when you overcast it, you just click this button here, so toggle to upgrade spell, and then you can now see what it does. So it's now going to be a 30-meter radius, and it's going to net everything for 20 seconds. The regular one, it will net one enemy in a 100-meter radius for 20 seconds, and if you overcast it, it becomes a 30-meter. So if we use that overcast net there a little bit more in the Druji game, in the last one we saw there, like netting the spears and netting Malekith and stop them from getting the good butchery there on top of Mazda Mundi, you know, he might have been able to survive there just a little bit longer. And then also here you can see the Winds of Magic, so it's 9 just for a regular Net of Amtok. If we overcast it, it's going to be 18. So you've got to make sure you've got a lot of Winds of Magic there to make sure you can get those juicy nets in. Nice change to Discord. To be honest, I was getting lost in categories. Yeah, no problem, Parkerella. Just trying to make sure that I can... will Shortbeards be Warhammer 3? Yes, there will be a Shortbeards in Warhammer 3, 100%. I'm upgrading my mic, I'm upgrading my camera, I'm upgrading my Discord. YouTube is now fully upgraded, I think. I've got it all sorted, so you should be able to see here on my channel. You should be able to join as a member if you want to join as a member. You should be able to donate if you want to donate, or whatever it is you want to do here. We have polls. We're going to be having all sorts of things that are coming forward. I just really want to sort of professionalize everything so that we're ready to go. So when Warhammer 3 hits, we can just headlong straight into it. Discord will be ready. It should be user friendly, and we're gonna have bots so you guys can just make it easy for you. Just make it easy for yourselves. So let's go host up here. Should be able to get Undead and the El Yak East. Let's see if we can find Undead. Probably gone past him at this point. Can't see either of you. That's one person joining. Should be yes, Elyak East, nice. Welcome, and then we'll have to go here and we'll go Oakenhammer. Just waiting for Undead to join now. I love Domination style mode, it's so great. Yeah, it's really good fun, dude. It's really good fun. Cool, so we're just going to be waiting here for Undead. It looks like he is coming. He's not online, so I can't see him. Ah, welcome. It should be, yes, it's going to be Undead to start. Alright, so... I don't believe either is from clans, so... It looks like he's the historic Coolio. So we're going to be doing the pick one band suit system. So let's go here. It's going to be... Who are we? Alright, so let's just see what these boys are picking them. So TK, Band Dwarfs, and Chaos. Starting with the classic. Love it. Good old Undead Classic. He is a Toon King main. He's basically just an Undead main, really. He does love his Undead. So who are you guys supporting here? Are you here for Undead or are you here for Ale? Which ones are you guys supporting? Let me know. Let me know. Sweet. So we're going to be on Oakenhammer again. We'll go through the same semi-final maps. So the semi-final maps here are going to be Oakenhammer, Pillar of Bone, and Summer Song. Run of here will be playing up against Call HR in the final. Perquay. I'll go with Norska. Oh, been a hot minute since I played Norska. Norska does pretty well up against the Tomb Kings, actually, I think. The front line's really good up against their cheap chaff, and even then, if you bring in Tomb Guard, they can come with Burning Head, and they can come with some scary elements indeed. Scary elements. Very, very scary stuff indeed. I think a lot of people write out Norska as a bit of a weak faction, and it's just not. It's just not. Also, like Seafang. So if you go Burning Head with Seafang there, because Seafang's such a nice spell, especially against like lightly armored infantry. It does really well against any infantry, but lightly armored infantry as well, it just tears through. Absolutely tears through infantry. So, you go 6-7 units of front line, Burning Head and Seafang, just delete it. And then you just got nothing to protect your range. Berserkers do really nice. As well as just cheap marauders will just kill chaff so quickly. For sure, for sure. Now the advantages here from the side of the Tomb Kings. Now 6 skirmish cav can do nicely from El Yak East, but for the most part you are going to be seeing some skeleton horse archers. I think they do very well on this matchup. 140 range, good stroke and poke. Pretty damn cheap as well. You're also going to come in with more horsemen as well. I think you probably don't actually go with any infantry really in this matchup. I don't think, as the Tomb Kings. You're going to go chariots. You're going to be going here with skeleton horse archers. You are going to go with the Nekahara horsemen. Very, very strong indeed. These bad boys tend to do some good work. And then you're probably going to come in with some constructs, maybe some Ushopti great bows. Maybe mixing in here with some, maybe a Spirit Leech caster. You're going to go in there probably with Ark and the Black. And then maybe like a Tomb Prince, both on horseback, see if they can protect each other. And then, something along those sort of lines. Front line, you could do if you want to, but you don't necessarily need a front line in this matchup. Cavalry and skirmish should do the job. It is a matchup you can get away without any infantry, because infantry, I think, it's just going to die. I don't think you necessarily need that much. And you've also got infantry summons as well, which you can also utilize. And I think just having mobility on that area is good. Oh, dead set 50-50 there on Undead and El Yak East. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Alrighty. There we go. So should we be able to kick off here? So what have you guys repping Undead here? Nice, Golicha. Nice, nice, nice. Got a bit of Undead support. Now, Undead actually has won one of the tournaments before. I think he won either Season 1 or Season 2 tournament. Yeah, so he's done some nice work there indeed. I can't remember who won the previous tournaments. I'll have to think about it. I think actually Arcadia has won one. He won Season 3. I think Undead won Season 2, but I can't remember who won Season 1. Can't remember who won Season 1. Can't remember. Alright, let's do this. No problem. And this is the nice thing for you guys as well. You know, sorry if you take too long. Don't worry about how long you take. It's no dramas. This is the whole point of this tournament. The whole point of this tournament for you guys as new players is to take your time. Make sure you get it right and get the experience of being on live stream, being in tournaments, and all these kind of things. And just making sure that, you know, you get the experience you need. So when you go out into the sort of wider community, with more tournaments, more live streams, you know, big hosts like Turin, etc., you've had that experience. You're ready to go, and, you know, hopefully it's not going to be as overwhelming. Alrighty, so we're going to be here in the middle. Should be interesting to see what's going to come here from both sides. Let's have a little look. So, from the L, we're going to have... Oh, no, actually, we're going to start here with the Tomb King. So, double Tomb Scorpions is going to be a pretty interesting start. Good cheap Terra, 1,000 gold each, with a little sarcophagus here in the middle. Most people don't know about this little thing, but it is quite cool, the fact you got a little sarcophagus in there. It's quite nice. A little undead mummy. We are going to have, of course, these actually come with Vanguard deployment. I always forget that. But Terra, anti-infantry, armor piercing, good armor, and yeah, it's just pretty good cheap Terra. Skeleton horse archers here in the front, lots of them. Skeleton chariots as well. We're actually going to come in with the Capital Guard, pretty strong. We are going to have the Blessed Legion. Okay, interesting choices. With just some cheap, Nekahara warriors, but also a lot of the skeleton warriors. Tomb Prince, and looks like here we're also going to be having... Aha! Ark of the Black. So, Tomb Prince here is going to be anti-large and armor piercing. Curse the Jaff with the Tomb Blade, the Tomb Strike, and then also Guardian. So, Tomb Strike here causes terror, or can cause terror, with base weapon damage and melee attack increases. So, yeah, pretty good stuff indeed. And here we are going to have with Ark of the Black, going to have the Big Bad Spirit Leech, Liber Mortis, Staff of the Gash, and the Tomb Blade of Arkham. Yeah, pretty good. Not too much, pardon me. Not too much on the magic damage here. It's going to be from the Norscan, so having that physical resistance is actually quite nice. So 4 Skeleton Horse Archers. Here we are going to see double Norscan Warhounds with the Beasts of Tashnar. So the Beasts of Tashnar here, 700 gold, but particularly strong because they have 50% missile resistance. So very, very good indeed. Frenzy as well, anti-large, bonus as large. They're just such a strong unit of hounds, very strong. Marauder Horsemen here, bucket loads of Marauder Horsemen. We are going to be having the Marauders here in the front, backed up by Marauder Berserkers. Yeah, very good here, and more Marauders. Double Manticores in the sky, alongside Wulfric the Wanderer. So Wulfric the Wanderer here on horseback. He's going to be having the Sword of Torgaud here with Hunters of Champions, Fight or Die, and Seafang. Yeah, pretty strong indeed. Also going to be having the Shaman Sorcerer of Fire, Burning Head, Fireball, and Kindle Flame. I actually quite like seeing on this character if we actually come in here with the Cascading Fire Cloak. It gives 24 melee defense and armor piercing. It can be really strong there for Wulfric. Do apologise. Yeah, so getting that 24 melee defense there for Wulfric just makes him just that little bit tankier. That it's just really nice. 100 armor. Instead of having 50 melee defense, he's actually going to be having 74. It just makes the world of difference of him because he has no healing. So taking chip damage is really important. It's one of the things that actually makes Archeon way more tankier than he actually is. It just makes him so much harder to snipe for sure. The main way around these sort of characters is things like Spirit Leech. You know, here straight out the gate, I'm looking just to Spirit Leech the literal garbage out of Wulfric the Wanderer. Wulfric dies, Norscans really struggle. They really struggle. So we have all the tools to win here from either side. I don't see that either side has gone or over-invested too much in anything. Yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty good conquest. Let's have a look. Gonna have fun for both sides. I'd love to see that. So let's charge forward here. So Skeleton Horse Archers here, you can see the Norscan Warhounds are on the side. We are also going to have some Norscan Ice Balls, and these bad boys do come with Frostbite. The 95 speed anyway, but negative 35% speed from the Frostbite is uber strong. Warhounds will rip apart Skeleton Horse Archers. They'll do all the good work indeed. These bad boys just need to keep moving and shooting. So you can see the Horse Archers went in this direction. They actually needed to come back towards their infantry, then use their infantry as blockades to get the Warhounds off them. Mortal Hordes are now going to be chasing around, so he needs to actually just see if we can pull through here through the infantry. Just running away like this is not going to save the Horse Archers. So you see they're going to be running away from any sort of cover they've got, and now they're going to kind of get pinned here in the corner, and there's going to be a lot of damage coming out there. So we've got to be really, really careful with that. So Chariots coming forward, Chariots just want to get out and get busy. They want to get busy, busy, busy. You can see there's no support here for this front line, so there's going to be lots of damage coming here up against most of this infantry. And these Chariots just want to get all in the face of these Marauder Berserkers. Don't worry about the Marauders, get in those Marauder Berserkers. And if they stay together, they thump so hard. Archers here going to be shooting up against the Marauders here on the side. The Horsemen going to go down to 0 armor. These bad boys do have armor sundering, so they'll do lots of good damage indeed. We're going to see Seafang in the front. Is that going to come here alongside? No, he's going to come in this direction. And you can see there, it just absolutely deletes the Skeleton Warriors. Very nice stuff indeed. It just deletes it there. And then we'll also be having a Burning Head shortly, I'm sure. We're going to summon the other Skeleton Warriors. Burning Head did try and come down here on the Kepra Guard. These actually do have a fire weakness due to having regen. And there also, you can see it's 40%. That's also because we had the spell there, which also brings in Kindle Flame, which gives an extra fire weakness. So in the back, we are going to be having the Skeleton Chariots. Going to be getting challenged here by the Ferromanticores and also the Horsemen. They're going to be using their mass here to pin up against the Chariots. Chariots need to get out of here. And that's where the micro, you need to stay on top and make sure that these Chariots keep moving. If they stand still and they get the mass like this moving in, we're really going to delete Chariot models. And they're super important here to get rid of this infantry. Here in the back, we are going to have the Tomb Prince. He's going to be fighting here on his own up against Wolfric the Wanderer. Fight or die, give him melee attack, and Sword of Togauda is really going to rip his face off. We need to be getting Archon in here, getting those Spirit Leeches and then fighting. We want to be using, in this area as well, we want to be using the negation of physical resistance. We want to use the Liber Mortis where we can. Doggo's coming in from behind. This is a really good play from El Yaqui, and he's going to be doing some nice stuff indeed. Marauder Berserkers here are getting chewed apart though by the Tomb Scorpions. They do lack AP to really punch up against these models. Charging in here as well is going to be the Marauder Horsemen. They'll do some nice work in the pocket. Double Ferromanticores coming over. Archon gets a rear charge here on Wolfric. The Curse of Jaffa actually causes him to rampage, which is quite interesting. But they're now going to be rampaging on top of Archon, which is not really what you wanted. You wanted them to rampage on the Tomb Scorpion. Looks like here the dogs are going to rampage on the Tomb Prince, and the Beast of Tashan are getting negative melee attack. It should be. But now looks like the Curse of Jaffa does run out. It's actually going to be loads of melee attack for these bad boys. Oh, because of Frenzy. Yeah, that makes sense. In the middle here we can see Wolfric fighting up against a Tomb Scorpion. Where is Archon the Black? Spirit Leech goes down here on Wolfric the Wanderer. Archon the Black is in the back. He does get away. Spirit Leech, you just need to donk Spirit Leech as much as you can here on Wolfric. There is nothing you can do about it. He just will die. In the middle here, the Norscan Warhounds going to be fighting up against the Skeleton Chariots. They'll slow them, and they do some pretty good weapon strength. 42 weapon strength is pretty strong. I think the AP values are not too bad either. Yeah, they're going to be coming at 13 armor piercing. It's pretty strong indeed. Pretty strong indeed. So the Marauder Horsemen in the back going to be shooting here. It's not actually going to be fighting up against Archon. I just have these bad boys shooting up against Chariots, etc. Maybe even shooting up against the Kepra Guard. Another Seafang there in the back on the Kepra Guard. Actually came through like this. It was quite a nice ability indeed. We should be able to see a Burning Head coming through. But we haven't seen too much from the caster. Where's the caster here? Is he dead? No, he's in the back there. He got pushed quite hard. But Skeleton Chariots are going to be forwarding, which means we're going to struggle to deal with these Marauder Berserkers coming forward. In the middle, it's going to be another Spirit Lich here donking on the door of Wolfric the Wanderer. Balance of power here is quite heavily in the Norscan favour. There's a lot of damage here coming on the Ferromanticore. Tomb Scorpion is going to be falling here. Manticore is going to get in and do the good work. Yeah, it's looking pretty tough here, unfortunately. Liber Mortis has been activated, giving that 40% physical resistance. But it's been really nice from El Yaqui. He's done very, very well indeed, just using his Manticores and just getting in and applying the pressure there with Wolfric the Wanderer, deleting that infantry line. Yeah, just doing some gorgeous work indeed. Burning Head and using the Seafang. It is super strong. Someone there with the Skeleton Warriors, which is going to really put in up against the Marauder Berserkers and the Marauders. It's actually going to be a Burning Head through the line here of the summon. In the back though, Ark of the Black Hunters of Champions has been activated. We could get on with anything here, but it's like here we are moving with the Norscan Warhounds. He's going to be slowed by 45%. Looks like he's going to get away from that now, but in come the Norscan Ice Balls, and you know they'll certainly finish off the job. That is going to be army losses. GG's and well played here to Ale and the Norscans. Yeah, absolute clinic here. Absolute clinic. Very well played. Very well played. Hey, Christopher. I struggle finding multiplayer factions for myself. I like Pirate Coast, but watching one of your videos, you said they are pretty weak. They can be pretty weak, just because there's not many ways you can play them. There's a big depth to it as well, and it depends who they're playing against. But yes, overall, they're certainly not one of the strongest factions. But, you know, there's players like Inticity and stuff like that that make them very, very good indeed. So 1,140 there for Fruit the Wanderer, 520 there for the Shaman Sorcerer, 1,100, 500 there from the Ferromanticore. It's very strong indeed. We are going to see 46, 190, 280, and 270 from the Marauders. Berserkers in at 680, 550, and 350. With 744, 305, 307, and 260. We're going to see 380 and 540 here for the Norscan Warhounds. Ice Balls in at 600 and 1,500 for the Beast of Tashnar. This is just an amazing model, an amazing unit. Arkham 1,470, 580 there for the Tomb Prince. These two need to stay tighter together. Pretty much wherever Arkham went, the Tomb Prince needed to follow. We are going to have 104, 22, 170, and 240 there for the Skeleton Warriors. 400 for the Nekaharas, with 840 there for the Kepra Guards. So still pretty good for the Kepra. 503 there for the Blessed Legion, with 800 and 750 there for the Skeleton Chariots. 140, 83, 177, and 41 there for the Skeleton Horse Archers, with 430 and 670 for the Tomb Scorpions. Now, if we speak about certain factions, you would say that Norsca, what most people would consider as the weaker faction in the game, but you know they got a good win here. They played very, very well indeed, and there's a matchup here that does certainly favour them. Logic, have you been able to play Warhammer 3 already? Yes, I have been. Yes, Matthew, I have been. Yes, I've played considerable amount. I played today as well, actually. I played against another content creator. Really good fun. Really good fun. Really enjoying Warhammer 3. No problem, Christopher. What I would recommend for yourself, come join here on my Discord. If you're a new player, I generally think for new players, you know, I'm going to confidently say this. I generally think my Discord is going to be the place. It's probably one of the better places for new players. We host something here called the Shortbeard League, which is a league here which is designed for new players. So this tournament here is only full of new players and brand new players. And we make sure there are only new players. So we play against every single player that comes into this tournament. That means myself and all the admins. We make sure everybody is of the correct standard, and we put together for the league, we put all the people of a similar standard in the same league. So there's 5 different leagues, you all play against each other, and you get practice that way. No one else can see these leagues, except you guys that are in the league. So it's a nice little private event, you guys have some fun, you get some practice, and then also you can play in these tournaments. So you get league experience, tournament experience, coaching from us on the Discord, even on the Discord as well. You have your own Shortbeard section. So here there is actually a Shortbeard voice channel which only Shortbeard players can go in. You also have 1 vs 1 Total War Discord voice channels, which means only 2 players can be in there at any one time. Of course, myself and the admins can jump in and out, so we can actually push it over to if we want to join you, but we're the only ones that can do that. So yeah, you got a safe space in here to come in and play some games against other Shortbeards and you know, have a good time. So feel free to come in, try and talk to some of the admins, have a good time, and yeah, get involved. Hey, Godmar, how you doing? Awesome. So guys, give me 10 seconds. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put a nice score point here on number 1 for Mr. Ale. He's going to be getting the first victory here, and then we're going to be moving on to the Pillar of Bone. Give me 10 seconds, and I will return. Alrighty, we're back. So, I think I saw on the way out, we did see the Vampire Countess coming in from Undead. Of course, a very good Undead player indeed. Yeah, so it looks like it's going to be Undead against Bretonnia. Pretty strong matchup, this one indeed. Thank you, I joined. Also, thank you for helping my brother, Prophet Oreo. Ah, your Prophet Oreo's brother. No problem at all, my friend. Well, welcome, Christopher. I'll be happy to help you in exactly the same way, my friend. But yeah, no problem at all. Welcome here to the Warhammer community, my friend. Feel free to get involved, and we'll certainly get some games going, even you and I as well. But yeah, anytime. And Prophet Oreo is an awesome dude. I'm super excited to get involved with him in Warhammer 3 as well. I do apologise, I haven't been able to get in contact with him recently. I've just been super busy. Any free moment I've been getting, I've been playing Warhammer 3, trying to get some content going, so I have some stuff to show you guys, and all the good things, In custom game domination mode, you can alter the amount of gold for armies. You can, yes, Matthew. Yeah, yes, you can. Matthew, one thing I would say is don't be concerned about that. You get more gold overall for the whole thing. You get 10,800 for your reinforcements and 7,200 for your front army. That is more than enough gold. You don't need any more than that. You don't need any more than that. And the tickets come in so quickly that you don't even realise you don't have. You'll have by the time the actual battle starts in 3 minutes, you'll have more than 12,400 gold on the field. I wouldn't worry about it. You'll have so many tickets. I mean, you've got 3 minutes. That's going to be, what's that, 180 seconds times 16. So we can even do the maths. I can even do the math for you. So we have, so it's 180 seconds. You get 16 tickets per second. So you've got to times that by 16. You get 2,880. On top of that, I think it's 7,800 you start with. I think it's 7,200 you start with. So that's plus 7,200. So by the time the game actually starts, you have 10,080 on the field. 10,080. That's when the game kicks off. So, every sort of 3 minutes, you're going to get about 3,000 worth of troops on the pitch. So think about it that way. So you should be absolutely fine, yeah. He got me into Warhammer after you helped him out on looking at Khorne and Nurgle. Yeah, it should be good, man. Well, Christopher, if you want to come into the Discord and play some games, I'm sure myself and the mods will be more than happy to help, for sure. Yeah, feel free to stand around as well, Christopher. Just stay around, ask some questions. And by the way, guys, anybody here that has any questions today, there is no such thing as a stupid question. Ask away. Ask, and I will answer as many as I possibly can. Yeah. I'll try and do what I can. But no, of course, no problem. Yeah, get into Warhammer, my friend. Get in. It's a super nice scene here. Really, really fun to play. And it's very complex indeed. It's very, very complex. Super, super good fun. And amazing people here as well. A lot of amazing people. Alright, under the set. In this matchup, I think it is slightly Vampire Count favoured. But I do think the Bretonnians can do well here. I'd say 55% in favour of the Undead, and of course 45 there for the Bretonnians. So, you'd expect 50 out of 100 games, you'd expect 55 of them to be won there from VC, and 45 to be won from the Bretonnians. So, yeah, pretty even matchup, but, it's said gently favours. Yeah, but the 10,800, although the gold comes in fast, you still summon units one at a time. I would disagree. Matthew. Some of the games that I play with like Dark are just way more strategic. They're way more strategic. And like what happens in the opening is super important. It will almost determine if you it doesn't determine if you win or lose the game, but it determines how well your opening is going to be. I would say just wait before many people get too skeptical about it. I'd just say wait and then play it yourselves, and you'll see what I mean when you play it. It is not what you think it's going to be. So we'll start here. We'll have the Mortar's Engine, the Reliquary of Binding, the Blasphemous Tome, and the Reliquary of Corruption. Die Wolves, 2 units there, and the Die Pack Wolves, which is going to be the anti-large variant. So the Regiment of Renown here, coming a bonus for large and anti-large. It should be pretty good. Yeah, 14 bonus for large. So think about them as dogs, but spearmen, essentially. It's kind of the way to think about them. Double Fellbats here, backed up by the double Blood Knights. These also are going to be anti-large cavalry. Should be pretty good anti-large as well. Yeah, 22 bonus versus large. Yeah, so pretty decent stuff. Let's go to Morris here, backed up by Graveguard, anti-infantry, and armor piercing here with also von Karstein in the sky. So we are going to be having the Lady von Karstein. Oh no, it's actually just the von Karstein Vampire Lord, sorry. Oh wow, I never see the von Karstein Vampire Lord on a Hellsteed. Now, big fan of the Hellsteed is going to be, I forget this actually, Undead is a big fan of the Hellsteed. Sort of anti-heroes, the Charm Shield, as well as Raise the Dead, the Dance Macabre, Invocation of the Heck, and the Hunger. We are going to have zombies here in the front. So quite a few of those, including the Tithe Zombies, which actually comes more models and physical resistance. Just makes them a little bit harder to chunk through. So the walls there on the left-hand side, we are going to have King Leoncoeur, King Luen Leoncoeur, I should say, with the Sword of Corone, the Lion Shield, Stand Your Ground, the Beloved Son of Bretonia, and the Ladies Champion. Also going to be having the Paladin in support here with the Deadly Onslaught, Foe Seeker, and Guardian. Here on the floor, we are going to have a bunch of peasant mobs here to kind of counteract the zombie plays. Backed up here by peasant archers. It's going to be fire arrows and pox arrows around, I'm sure. Fire arrows actually do a little bit more DPS. So knights here in the back, we have Knights of the Realm. They're going to be anti-large cavalry. Men-at-arms here, men-at-arms backed up by the Holy Wardens of Las Maisontal. Fire damage here and also magic damage. We're going to be here the offspring of Barrett Dondarrion here with the flaming swords, but also those magical hammers could certainly do give a good bonk for sure. We are going to be having some more of the men-at-arms and the battle farmers. Yeah, pretty strong. They're pretty strong. Knights of the Realm. I think actually also having the Regiment of Renowned Knights of the Realm is pretty good because the bad boys come with magic damage, and of course ethereal units pay for physical resistance. It's pretty much all of their armor. So if you've got magic damage, you certainly circumvent all of the expected damage there from those ethereal units. Sorry, I'm noob, but what are current tournament rules and how do you see that changing for Total Warhammer 3? A lot. So, current rules here for the Total Warhammer. So, we'll get this up for you. It's quite confusing, but you'll see the amount of rules that we have here for fruit rules. Pretty much, imagine these are all going to go. So, the current rules of what we use here is the fruit rules. So, this is a little thing for you there, Christopher. So, have a look at that, and you'll see that it's massively daunting. You're going to look at it and you're going to go, oh my god, there are so many rules. And then you go to play Warhammer 3 and just ignore all of them. Ignore them. Ignore all like 20 pages of those rules and go, they don't exist anymore. You don't need them. They don't exist. Everything that is built into Game 3, there is none of these rules. There's no rules. Doesn't matter. That is I think solely the biggest advantage for Warhammer 3. I think. But yeah, no, I'll tell you what, Matt, we'll talk about it afterwards, but yes, I certainly think, you may think our 10,800 gold, but there's a lot of strategy in it. There is a lot of strategy in it, in what you can and can't do, and yeah, there's a lot to be done. There's a lot to be done, but we'll talk about that with time to come. So in the sky, over here, we are going to get the Paladin coming forward. Paladin is now going to be fighting here, kind of on his own. We now definitely want to get these arrows shooting in. So we get these arrows here. We want to get those shooting over the top here into this blob. So they're going to be deciding to shoot the zombies. What's here was this going to be? It's going to be an overcast regrowth here on the Paladin. That's going to come in here from the cast at the front. Regrowth, Earthblood with Life Bloom. Going to be with her today. And we're going to be fighting him in the middle. Now, here with the Mortar's Engine, he gets most of his effects by being engaged in melee combat. The fire arrows now going to be firing in the sky. A lot of those could hit Leoncoeur, so we've got to be careful. He's going to be using Stand Your Ground alongside here also the Lion Shield. The Sword of Corone activated, negative melee defense, negative armor. That's really going to hurt a lot here. And this is not the engagement here to take as the Undead. But he's done a lot of damage here up against the Paladin. Paladin actually gets terrified, I think. No, it just breaks. How does it break there? How does it break on that much? What? That makes no sense. Okay, so that thing broke. Okay, interesting stuff. And now the Von Karstein Vampire Lord could just run away. It's got 105 speed. You just don't fight Leoncoeur. You just don't fight. You run away. That rear charge. That rear charge. Ooh, Dance Macabre, get yourself out of there, my boy. Okay, looks like the Paladin is going to come back. I was so surprised he broke. He had so much leadership. Also, so much HP, I don't know why he broke, but there we go. But he broke, so he will be returning. He doesn't actually have immune to psychology, so, you know, you can get broken by terror, but there's only fear here for the Von Carsten Vampire Lord. He just needs to run all day now. He just needs to run and run and run and run and run. In the back here, the doggos have been deleted pretty hard, but they can get in here and compromise the ranged units. And that can really help fight here in the front line. So we are going to see here Graveguard fighting on top of the peasant mobs. Not really all that advantageous, because now you're just going to cycle charge your cav and delete all this infantry. You kind of want to get the zombies to kind of pin up and, you know, deal with the peasant mobs while you get the Graveguard around the outside, doing all the good stuff. So Blood Knights here fighting up against Knights of the Realm. Knights of the Realm nowhere near as tanky. 90 armor going up against 110. They do get a bonus first large. I believe it's in the 14-ish region. It's not as strong. So it's actually only 10 bonus first large. And you get 22 for the Blood Knights, which means you're going to give them 22 melee attack and 22 weapon strength additionally. So being these are more tanky, they have better bonuses and better stats overall. They're just going to thump much harder up against the Knights of the Realm. We do see a runaway here from the Von Carsten Vampire Lord. That's why actually King Leon Kerr is the only time I kind of like to see him here with his speed boost with the Foe Seeker. That speed bonus will actually bring him fast enough to catch the Von Carsten Vampire Lord. Sword of Anti-Heroes has been activated. We need to keep this Mortis engine moving as much as humanly possible. That's going to just, you can see the little grey swells. That is here from the Mortis engine. It has an ability here called it's called the Reliquary of Corruption, which when engaged in melee will actually do damage here to all units around it. It does pretty decent damage as well, actually. This thing does have regen, so of course fire damage here from the fire arrows will do a lot of damage here up against the Mortis engine. So you've got to be careful there. So we are going to get a summon. Might be able to pin in here with King Leon Kerr, but I don't know what King Leon Kerr is. I don't know how we're going to be able to take him down. Blood Knights might be able to do it. Blood Knights are pretty healthy, 43 models here. Blood Knights should be able to take down King Leon Kerr, but for Undead, it's going to be pretty hard here. We are going to see the Peasant Bowman still shooting here up against the Mortis engine. We are going to see a heal on the Graveguard. That's going to heal those up nicely. In the back here, Peasant mobs are going to be getting chased off the edge of the battlefield. And just chase off the chaff. You don't have to deal with it anymore. Get this Lord here to chase off the fire arrows here in the middle. Just chase all these units off. You've got the mobility. You've got dogs in the back. Just chase off these units. Don't worry about the fight in the middle. You've got zombies. Just send them in. Just send them in to die. That's what they're there to do. And then just use your ability here to chase off men-at-arms and do all the good other juicy stuff. So the Sons of Beric Dodarian here are going to be falling. These bad boys here, only 1000 HP. 19 models here. They can fight there with the magical hammers and the flaming swords. They're going to be fighting here up against the zombies. They are going to get charged. Actually, the Blood Knights are going to kind of leave them in behind, which, you know, don't really blame them too much. But here it's just going to be the men-at-arms here fighting up against summons of zombies and skeletons. And yeah, it's a pretty nasty job here as a Bretonnian peasant. Flying away, the Von Carsten Vampire Lord just wants to run. Just doesn't want to fight here up against King Leon Kerr. There is just no benefit for them. You're just not going to get any sort of bonuses from doing that. So charge or fear up against the men-at-arms in the back. It might be pretty hard. They're pretty tanky. But if you get a good charge here with the Darkpack Wolves, you know, 24 charge bonus, 95 speed, we should be able to get in and have a huge collision there and chase off the cheap and cheerful chaff. Summon on the floor here could be quite nice. You could get a summon on top of the Peasant Bowman. Just get some zombies in there to compromise this range unit. Stop them from firing here up against the Blood Knights. Healing here on the Blood Knights is needed. 38 models at half health. You can see that healing cap is now starting to come out. If we could heal this model, that is the win condition here. If we keep those alive, we win this match. In the middle there, we can see at healing cap is going to be the Paladin. Looks like the Charm Shield coming in for damage resistance and also, Missile Parry. So Missile Parry basically gives this bad boy from a bronze to a silver shield, so it can negate more incoming missiles. In the back here, Knights of the Realm, pretty weak. We are going to get a heal here of Earthblood on the pocket, I think. No, it looks like it ended up going on the Knights of the Realm here. Heal on this pocket would have been quite nice. Heal on this pocket would have hit 4 units quite nicely. You would have got the Damsel, you also would have got the Men-at-Arms and also the Double Knights. But here, for that Earthblood, you only got 1 unit. We want an invocation on these Blood Knights. If we could actually grab them together and get an invocation here, or maybe even get an invocation cast here as well, that could be quite nice, hitting a lot of the infantry in the middle. It really depends how and what you want to heal. If we get the Diepack Wolves over, I think there's still quite a few models. Yeah, 31 models here on top of the Blood Knights. Also here with the Von Carsten Vampire Lord. And where's the rest of the Blood Knights? I can't see any more Blood Knights. There must just be one left. But if you got these three elements together, did an overcast invocation, you get a good juicy heal, and you can certainly push balance of power more towards your favour, and then give you a good challenge. So King Leon Kerr's on the floor. This is where the Blood Knights need to come in and cycle charge him to death. You need to get into the work. Stand your ground activated. We are going to go in with the Lord. That's a bold choice, Cotton. We can see here the Sword of Crone activated. We do see the Sword of Anti-Heroes coming with the better base weapon damage and armor piercing. But Paladin's going to be into help as well, so we just need to get out of there with the Lord. So we've still got elements in the back here. We've still got Peasant Bowmen. We've still got more of the Knights of the Realm. We really want to clear up these elements, because they're just going to get chip damage here over time. And, scratches and bruises, they add up over time. And look at that. We were talking about the Blood Knights earlier. They got no heals. So they've gone from 38 models down to 16 models. And now they're looking in a dire scenario. There's nothing here that can kill King Leon Kerr. The Von Carstein Vampire Lord is not going to be able to do it. The Direpack Wall's not going to do it. The Blood Knights are the only thing that really pack enough punch to finish off this force. The Bretonnians aren't going to be winning here. You can see the Paladin in the sky, 105 speed. You are going to have to fight this. You can't really run away here, unfortunately. Dance Macabre will be needed. Get that melee attack here to the Lord. Get a heal as well on your Blood Knights. Otherwise, they are going to suffer. Now, if we do get a good juicy charge here on the cavalry from the Bretonnians, it could go nicely. But King Leon Kerr looks to be charging down the Blood Knights. He kills the Blood Knights. I don't know. Because Graveguard, they are anti-infantry, but they're getting shot here by the peasants. And it's looking pretty rough. It's looking pretty rough. Fire arrows could be doing chip damage here. King Leon Kerr is coming over towards the Von Carstein Vampire Lord. Graveguard are going to be falling in the middle. Yeah, it's pretty tough here. He can now turn and fight on the Paladin. He can certainly turn and fight. Paladin is going to be faster than him, so he's going to be catching him there from behind. So he is going to have to fight. You are going to have to fight at some point. He does have 70 melee attacks, so could we give a Dance Macabre and give him like a good advantage in this fight, possibly? Now, maybe he doesn't need it that much, but he doesn't want to be taking too much damage either. Sword of Anti-Heroes would be quite decent to finish off the Paladin. But basically, essentially increasing his melee attack is just going to give him a higher chance to hit. And the Paladin is at healing cap. Oh, we need a heal there. If we go... Oh, that's actually army losses. Okay, that's army losses. GG's well played. Yeah, so the Lord there was... when he got hit enough, you saw that negative 102 leadership. That's army losses. I still think that many of the tournament rules can be implemented in the game. For example, unit caps. So it already has been Godmar. So for Warhammer 3, they've already implemented unit caps. Unit caps already exist and has been upgraded for Warhammer 3. That's why you don't need rules. You just don't need rules, because it's already been implemented. We might do one or two of our own things. You might need one A4 sheet of paper of rules. Don't bring too many of this. Don't bring too many of that. But there's honestly not enough units in the game for you to go, oh, this is, if one unit's incredibly OP, you can literally write it on one A4 sheet of paper and go, you're only allowed 3 of these. Yeah, you just don't need many rules, to be fair. Yeah, no problem, Christopher, no problem at all. So there's going to be a 2-0 win here for Ale, so really, really well played there to him. He's going to come through with a big victory. I think the biggest problem that we saw for Undead, and Undead's a really great player. Really, really great player. 702, 216 kills there for the Direpack Wolves. 120 as well for 650, so really, really good work there between those two. 935 there for the Mortars Engine, certainly needs some support. 135 kills, 1.6k for the Blood Knights, and 940. Blood Knights are 1.7k apiece. They are 1,700 gold of investment. You need to be seeing healing here on the Blood Knights and not on the Graveguard. The Graveguard are great, and they'll really help chew through some of the more expensive infantry, like, for example, the Holy Wardens. But the Blood Knights are what are going to win you the game. That's what you bring them there to do. They're anti-large. They're there to beat other cavalry here from the Bretonnians, and they're also there to dominate the big lords. They're going to smash very, very hard. They have a bucketload of anti-large, good charge bonuses as well. They'll really thump up against King Leon Kerr. So allowing these to get withered down quite low was unfortunate. They were the win condition. But 1.6k for the Von Carstein Vampire Lord. Yeah, very strong indeed. We are going to see 64, 36, 41, and also 13 there, with 122 from the Tithe Zombies. So 240, 214 there from the Skeleton Warriors, with 880 and 920 for the Graveguard. 73 and 77 there for the Fellbats, with 84 there for the Direwolves. So they fell, unfortunately. Fellbats didn't really do much. They kind of... King Leon Kerr and the Paladin were always going to win. I think here as well, 3,400 damage value for the Paladin. I mean, that just tells you everything you need to know. A unit that costs probably in the region of about 1,000 gold, got triple its value. And King Leonka, 1,260. 213 for the Damsel of Life, with 68, 64, 230, 41 and 57 there for the peasant mobs. 143 kills, 350 for the men at arms, 270 and 177 with 550 for the holy wardens. 1,241, 505 and 215 there from the peasant bowmen. I mean, 1,200 gold there for a peasant bowman unit is going to cover 3 of them. Like that's going to cover the cost of 3 archers pretty comfortably. So 600. 1,400, 1,300, and 1,200 for the Knights of the Realm. The only issue with this army, I mean, you do actually have the Holy Wardens, so they do have magic damage, but there's not that much magic damage in this army. If we saw more ethereal units here coming from Undead, like if we saw just a single unit of Hex Wraiths, it could have been pretty disasterly here for Aelyak East. So, yeah, something there just to take into consideration. So, welcome to the finals, gentlemen. Welcome to the finals, gentlemen. So thank you very much, Mr. Undead, for playing. I really appreciate that. Hey, Andy, how are we doing? Bretonian rule. Bretonian rules, indeed. It does, Andy. Yes, it does. Good job, L. Always good with Brett. Yeah, indeed, indeed. Alright, so we are going to be in the final. Welcome everybody. Hope you're all having a fantastic evening. Now, for those who don't know, this is going to be the short bid tournament. This is a tournament specifically designed for new players here in my Discord. If you want to become a short bid here in my Discord, what you need to do is you need to go into the Discord and sign up and say, hey, I'm a new player. And then what one of me or one of my admins will do will come play against you. Just ensure that you are a new player and that you know, you're not going to be too good to be in the league. You'll then join us with the group. And what we do here, we do one of 2 things. We do leagues and we do tournaments. So this is the tournament today. It's based off my main tournament, which is the Battlemania, which if you win Battlemania, you actually go away with a copy of Total Warhammer 3 for free from me. So the last winner of that there was Mr. ODM, the green one. So we do tournaments that are like the like Battlemania that also follow suit from other tournaments. You know, for example, the ECL or Rubber Duck of War there with his Death Before Dishonor. You know, they follow similar tournament styles. So it gives you experience here in tournaments. We also do leagues. So the leagues run very similar to what we call the WWC, which is the Warhammer World Championships. So last year, Evenstar won the Warhammer World Championships that was hosted, and everyone all over the world was playing. It was about 1,000 people that signed up. And you know, you sign up to when you play against us, we give you a ranking from our 5 leagues. So top leader is the Norgrimlings, so it's going to be the Regiment of Renowned, the best Ironbreaker unit from the Dwarfs. Then the Peakgate Guard, we go down to the Grumbling Guard, the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass, and the Urkra Miners. So if you want to think about it this way, it's the Regiments of Renowned from the levels of infantry in the Dwarven roster. If you win your league on that season, you can go up and you can work your way all the way up to the top. And then if you win the top league, you then promote yourself out of the short bid league, and you essentially at that point should be good enough and have enough experience to go out into the wider world and play all the tournaments and play up against Falcon and Anticity and Turin and all these great players. And you know, hopefully you should stand a chance at this point. So think about this tournament as a good way for you new players to play up against other new players, learn how to play best of 3s, learn how to play in tournaments and leagues, and you know, we should hopefully be able to give you the tools to join here in the multiplayer scene, and you have an idea of learning things like how to upload videos, how challenge works, how to, you know, like with challenge, how to sign up for tournaments, and you know, all these kind of things as well. You know, using the Discord, finding out about other orgs as well. So like we're going to have a bunch of clans here. So you have, like, for example, Corley Shard joined to the Short Bid League and then found the Round Table Knights, which are going to be a nice competitive clan here in the multiplayer scene. So, you know, he decided to join those, and quite a few have joined that way. Quite a few have gone to, like, Aymer, and quite a few have gone to Sun of the Mountains, and, you know, quite a few people have gone all over the place. So if you have any questions, do feel free to ask. Do join up there on the Discord. I'll send you a quick little link if anybody does want to join. So invite people, copy. So you guys can join there on the Discord and get involved indeed. It's going to be... So, Corey, try to start us off. So, yes, we are going to be in the final. which will be really, really awesome indeed. So, right, so let's sort out here with this. So it's now going to be 0-0 in the final. But great win there from El. Really unfortunate for Mr. Undead. Thank you very much for playing, my friend. It was very nice to have you on stream indeed. So Quality Char here going to be bringing the pain train here up against Mr. Ale. Lovely stuff. I will go Empire, Band Dwarfs, and Chaos. Ooh. Ooh, interesting. So banning Dwarfs and Chaos. Vampire Counts could come out here. Vampire Counts are known to do relatively well against the Empire, at least traditionally. You know, you can deal with them. You can deal with them here as the Bretonians. There are some interesting ways. Looks like Skaven's going to be brought here from Mr. Yak East. Okay, so we're going to be here on the Karak-Dron as the first map. Let's get ready to kick it off. So, of course, here we are going to continue. If anybody here has any questions, feel free to ask. We'll also be going through some of the questions here we had from Matt. Yeah, but 10,000 gold comes in fast. You will summon units one at a time. So, many domination games I've seen are meat grinders on mid and not that strategic. Well, the game I'm going to cast actually isn't a meat grinder sort of win. But yes, there is going to be elements of meat grinder. And listen, Matt, there's meat grinders as well in this. You know, essentially there's going to be some level of skirmish and then there's a big off meat grinder anyway. So, like, you know, there's going to be meat grinder in both games. You know, there's going to be a big battle of, you know, there's going to be a big clash of battle anyway. There always is, at some point, a meat grinder per se. There's just less skirmish gameplay. There's just less skirmish gameplay, per se. How will picking and banning work now in Warhammer 3 if you can't see your opponent's faction? Blind picks. Mr. Pushover. Blind picks. Yep. So if you go on to do the quick battle system, it's entirely blind picks. So when you go into the quick battle system and you do domination, you will have to pick a faction before you can even see your opponent's faction. So let's say I've got my 8 factions? 7 factions. Let's say I go, cool, right. So I want to play Khorne. But I can't see what my opponents have got, so I go, okay, cool, I'll play Khorne. And until I lock in my faction, I can't see their faction. I can't see it. And they can't see my faction until they lock in. So it's completely blind picks on the quick battle ladder. It's always blind picks, which is interesting. So no, you can't counter pick on quick battles on the ranked battle system. So that solves there. When it comes to the more multiplayer scene, with the stuff that myself, Tura, and Ducky are going to be hosting with Darv and the rest, it's going to be probably something like pick one, ban one. Probably, I'd imagine, or blind picks again. Depending on whatever we think is most balanced and fair. Yeah. Or you know, I could definitely see like a pick two, ban none. Could be fine. Could be fine. Hopefully that answers your question, Mr. Pushover. So let's just be waiting for Ale here. It's a pretty interesting matchup. There's certainly a lot to it. I think one thing that's quite difficult for example, Dwarfs and also Empire to deal with, a lot of their issues certainly revolve around Warlock Giselles. These bad boys can snipe like things like Volkmar. They can snipe all sorts of things. Yeah, it's an interesting matchup, this one. It's an interesting matchup. I think it favours the Skaven, I think. It's a tough one, really. I've always seen Skaven do well in this one. A lot of people have their own opinions on this, but it's interesting. Yes, thank you. Yeah, no problem, no problem. And as I said, guys, if you've got any more questions, always feel free to ask. Ask. I'd rather you ask and I try and answer it, even if I can't answer it, than you guys sit there and you know, just ponder. Yeah, on some of it, it will just be my opinion. Yeah, I don't actually know what's going to happen. It's just, you know, some of it is like, this is how it is. And some of it's like, I don't know how it's going to be, but this is roughly what I would expect to happen. So we'll have to see what happens there in the future. Also, for those of you that are watching, I did a poll before, so I'll wait for this poll to go down, and we'll do it probably in between the next battle. So feel free to answer this one here, who you guys supporting. You supporting Mr. Kulichar or Mr. Aelyak East? But yeah, would you guys like for me to finish off Warhammer 2 with... but it won't be domination mode. It will just be, what do I think of pitch battles? Do you want to see a video in the next 2 days that's going to explain how I think the game finish off in a pick 2 ban none system when we take into account the fruit rules, even with the updates. I can certainly do like a tier list system that sort of, like I sort of did it before. So I did a tier list where I suggested where I thought that all of the factions were like S tier being like, you know, super strong, and then like A through to F of what I don't think is strong. You know, I can maneuver through and give you guys my opinions about the current factions in Warhammer 2 and the state that it's kind of finished in the game. Because the last one I did, that actually a lot of you guys have been watching, I did it a long time ago. I did it sort of 3 months ago, but it's just continuously people to keep watching it. So I could actually just go ahead and just do an updated one. So I released that actually when the Sergeant of the Fury came out, which was 3 months ago now. So if, you know, people want me to do an updated tier list, I can. Yes, that'd be interesting. Okay, well, I could do it. I'll leave it... I'll ask you guys afterwards, see what you think, and then, you know, those that want it, those that don't. The other thing you'll get after that, otherwise, is just another Warhammer 2 battle, so it really depends what you want. If you guys want that, I might do that for tomorrow. We'll see where we're at. Alright, so, welcome to the finals, everybody! We are going to be here on Karak-Dron. This doesn't look like Karak-Dron. This looks like Karak-Buftar. Either way. So, Pistol is here for Kulichar, 1, 2, 3, 4 units, backed up here by the triple Empire Knights, made that quadruple Empire Knights, and in the sky here we are going to be having a Amber Wizard on a Griffin, and of course here the old school Boris. So the Amber Wizard here with the transformation of Godon, and also here with Blood Roar and Terror on his beautiful Griffin. Beautiful stuff. And then we are going to have the big bad Boris, the Toddbringer here with the Middleland Runefang, as well as the White Cloak of Ulrich, backed up by Blood Roar, and also that Terror. Juicy stuff. So, Empire Knights here in the front. Looks like they're going to be alongside a bucket load of sportsmen. And we're also going to have some spearmen here. So pretty cheap and cheerful, pretty wide. The unbreakable sons of Sigmar are going to be present to fight here for their demigod. We are going to have the wolf rats here in the front. Pretty good indeed. These bad boys have some great stuff indeed. Bunch of Skaven slaves throughout here. Bunch of Skaven slaves. Throp the unclean. And it's like here we are going to have some of those Warlock Giselles. 2 units include the Natty Bobo sharpshooters. The boys here in the front with the rats in the middle. We can see here they're going to be having the shield breaker plus bucket loads of armor piercing here to really rip apart all those heavily armored troops. In the back we are going to be having loads of clan rats here, some with shields, some without, the Eshin triads, and it looks like quite a few of the rat ogres. Only 2, perhaps on the low side there. I normally bring 4 units of rat ogres. I think they're exceptional. In almost any matchup really. Paul Norska, yes please. Alright, yeah, we'll crack onto that. We'll be getting that done then. Alrighty, so should be pretty good here. Looks like both sides should be ready. We are going to be wanting to get these wolf rats here straight onto the pistoliers. We are going to see here wolf rats only 34 leadership at maximum, so you've got to be careful there. 1 volley of fire is going to be -5 leadership, plus they'll be taking damage sustained. I don't actually know the mathematics behind it, but certain period of damage markers will bring -4 leadership throughout, so it goes in multiplications of 4, so I assume it's something like, maybe like every 10% you lose -4 leadership. So you take 20% damage, you -8 leadership, -5 under missiles firing, so you're looking at -13 leadership out of 34. You're already looking like, you're getting close to losing half your leadership already just from a couple of volleys of pistoliers. So you've got to be careful, So we're going to be underway here in the final, game 1. Who's your money on? Who is your money on? So here for Throp the Unclean, he's going to be charging over on the right-hand side, kind of seeing if we can keep alongside the Wolf Rats. Well, for Throp, we didn't actually go through him, but he's going to be having the Beast Pack as well as the Creature Killer for the Anti-Large, Remolded, and the Master Controller. So Warlock Giselles now going to be firing up against the Pistoliers. Lovely work indeed. He's going to be keeping these guys at bay. And here I think, you stick wide. You stick wide with your Pistoliers. You don't get them in the range here of the Natty Bobos. But I think the Natty Bobos will also do some great damage up against the Empire Knights. So you've got to be careful there. Wolf Rats can't challenge the Empire Knights, but they can challenge the Pistoliers. So you've got to be careful there. So you can see in the back, the Warlock Giselles going to be sniping here up against some good models of the Pistoliers. Good damage here, but no kills so far. Actually, it looks like... no, we might be getting away with that. There's a lot of damage here out the gate. Rat Ogres move to the left, but that is also going to leave the move to the right, but it is going to leave the left-hand side weak. So now I'm going to be shooting him against the Empire Knights. Very strong stuff here coming from Ale. He's going to be doing some good sniping on the left, and of course the Empire Knights are a bit of a threat. These roadblocks, 110 armor, bronze shield, and they do actually have 48 charge bonus. They can get in and do some good work indeed. In below, the mass infantry is also going to be a problem. This infantry kind of maybe actually wants to get out and meet this and hold it back for as long as possible. Rat Ogres are going to charge over here alongside Throt the Unclean. They're going to be fighting up against some swordsmen, but they want to get out and meet this, get the infantry back as much as possible. We do need to stay around in the back here. Where is the hero here? So we are going to have the Plague Priest. He's going to have Summons, Vermintide, and also the Plague Spell. So we should be having the Pestilence Birth, which is actually going to be giving the Plague Monk Summon. So Clan Rats here are going to fill up the hole that was made. So there was a little bit of a hole here where infantry could have poured through. But we actually reinforced it with a unit of summons of the Clan Rats, which is going to hold them back. It just buys us some more time. So the front line isn't as wide as the Empire. We are going to be able to use summons here to hold back the Sigma Suns. On the side, you can see Rat Ogres do get charged down by Empire Knights. A little bit unfortunate there. They're now going to get pushed off. They were trying to get on the back here with the Pistoliers, but now we're going to be sniping a lot of the Empire Knight crew. You can see Horsemen dying here left, right, and centre. Clan Rats do need to come over here and create a blockade. We need to pull these through and hope that we can protect them. We need some more summons here from the Plague Priest. He needs to get more summons over here so we can really, blockade these back elements as well. Kind of hold off the cavalry incoming forces. So Eshin Triads move forward here. We do break with the Wolf Rats. Looks like here the Rat Ogres coming over here with Throt the Unclean. That's nice here. We're going to hold off one side with summons, and then we're going to pressure the other side with good armor-piercing cavalry, and also Throt the Unclean. 95 speed for him. He'll certainly bump in the whip here. And we're actually going to terrify the Empire Knights. Very nice stuff indeed. So we're now going to get the Manticore Summon. That bad boy can now whip around in here and do some good juicy work up against the Natty Bobos. But in the middle here, we can now see the infantry lines are going to be breaking. Pistoliers are in the back. We do have 70 armor for the Natty Bobos. But here now we're going to be kind of ganging on top of the Plague Priest. He's going to get terrified. One hit. Blood Roar is a very powerful ability here. Blood Roar coming from Boris gives an extra -8 leadership. And being you can get, I believe, something like -21 leadership, something like that for Boris with Terror. That -8 on top, making it -29, is just absolutely huge up against the Skaven. The Manticore as well is going to be going around. It should be faster and stronger enemies nearby. Flank exposed. You can see Throt is over here trying to do well. The bonus for Sludge for the creature killer for the summon. So it looks like we are going to get the summon of the Rat Ogres in as well. So we do actually have a summon here for Throt. In the back here, the Natty Bobo sharpshooters are going to get compromised here by Pistoliers and Spearmen. They are going to be dropping, and they are pretty quick actually. I think they're sort of like, yeah, 38 speed, but I think when they break, they can go anything up to about 43. Rat Ogres charging here up against the Empire Knights. Pistoliers do really well up against Rat Ogres, only 30 armor. So the Pistoliers don't need too much armor piercing here. I think you've kind of invested now, like backing off is not good because, yeah, fine, you might say they're going to break here, they're going to take so much damage charging away. You kind of over-invested with the Rat Ogres, so I think you just got to see that out. So you can see here they're going to break and they're just, yeah, that charge there was a bit of a mistake, In the middle, we are going to see the Empire Knights charging around the backside here. And they might be able to get in and maybe get a good juicy flank and rear charge up against the Natty Bobos. We also have some Warlock Giselles in the middle. They're actually going to be sniping here up against Boris Todbringer. You probably actually want to be shooting the guy on the floor rather than Boris in the sky, because he can sort of juke back and forward like so and avoid a lot of the incoming missiles. And you can actually shoot the one on the floor here. We're actually going to get a summon of the Manticore. That Manticore probably should get in the back here and move, but it looks like we're actually going to be using the Amber Wizard to do that sort of work. On the floor here, Throt the Unclean, down to half health. He does have regen, so he will heal, but he's going to be fighting up against Empire Knights. Pistoliers as well will be getting some pop shots in there, and it looks like here Sigmar Sun's going to be fighting up against the Clan Volcentail Slashers. The bad boys here with the flaming swords actually come in here with 70% fire resistance, so they can do some lovely work in the middle indeed. Sigmar Sun's going up against the elite of the most elite of the Clan Rats here you are going to see. We are going to get Throt the Unclean in the back here, and trying to see if we can help fight here. We can see in the middle, Boris Todbringer, he's going to get hit here by the Eshin Triads. And they actually do have a Weeping Blade ability. It reduces his armor down by 50%. So down there from, I believe it's 90, you see 85 armor? It must be 85. Oh, lovely hit there from Throt. So going to be charging there. These are pretty quick here. 46 speed for the Eshin Triads. Weeping Blades, negative 50% armor, which is really good here up against Boris. So we are going to get caught a little bit with our pants down here. We are anti-large for Throt, if he does come in with the creature killer. So we can certainly pop that and do some really nice work. But Boris getting sniped here is going to be huge. I certainly think it's in the Empire favour at this moment. But we do see a summon here with the Plague Monks. We didn't finish off the Plague Priest, the caster. We didn't quite finish him off. So he's going to be getting a nice elite summon of the anti-infantry Plague Monks. And if anybody's played Vermintide, you'll know that these Plague Monks are devastating. Don't really know where these guys are running to, but I think just stay there. Just stay there, hold this back, do the work while you are summoned, and get as many kills as possible. You could charge in and protect the Warlock Giselles, but it's entirely up to you. Spearmen here are going to chase off, so you can see they're 47 speed for the Natty Bobos. When they break, they actually get a bit of a bonus on speed here with the Scurry Away. And they also get the strength in numbers as well. So, being the more damage they take... Oh, he comes back! No way! We're actually going to see Boris coming back, and he has the Midland Runefangs. He's going to heal. We need these Natty Bobos now. They need to be shooting here up against Boris. He needs to get a shot off the edge of the field. And we need to notice from Quality Shard that he can return. We are going to be fighting in the pocket. I still think this is going to be an Empire win, regardless of whether Boris is on the field or not. These bad boys, these Warlock Giselles should return. They've got 25 leadership. Now we need to shoot. Now we need to shoot. We need to see if we notice this. This is key. It looks like we are going to notice here with Call HR. We are going to notice on the outside. Can we get the shots in? They need to shoot immediately. It looks like here the Pistoliers are moving in. We need to summon here now. They haven't quite noticed. Oh no. We're going to charge in, but it's not going to be enough. I think with Boris coming back into the game, that's it. That's it. Yeah, he needs to be dealt with immediately, and he sadly wasn't. So I'm clean in the middle. Remolder is going to give kind of regen here, plus melee attack, leadership, and also creature killer for the bonus first large. He needs to finish off the Amber Wizard. That's what we're actually going to get a mass terrifying here. That's really, really awesome. So 1, 2, 3, 4 units getting terrified. The Empire Knights should follow suit. That's going to be a 5th terrified there in the middle. The Eshin Triads, if they actually stick on top of Throt the Unclean, could do some amazing work indeed. So you can see here, I think we got the summon of the clan rats here on top of the pistoliers. We are going to have the plague priest fighting pretty nicely, and it looks like here the sharpshooters did go off the battlefield. We do actually have a return for this unit. I don't know what we can do to save them, but they are going to be super crucial here. Looks like we are going to go for the snipe here on the plague priest. Could we get Throt over here? We need to get Throt over here to protect the plague priest. Get those summons in; they are super important. Can we do that though? Looks like coming over is going to be the Amber Wizard. This is where flying and mobility and all these kind of things are super important, because they just allow you to pick which engagements you want to take here on the battlefield. In the back here, units are going to come back from being terrified, so they can certainly put some pressure on, but the Amber Wizard's got to be careful. Of course, he doesn't have any more summons, so he wants to cycle charge up against Throt, get that charge bonus going. It is a charge bonus of 60, so 60 melee attack and 60 base weapon damage increases here, but the terror out here on Throt is also really, really nice. So Clan Rats are coming back here to meet their Lord. We should be seeing, is this a summon? It's not a summon of Clan Rats, so we are going to get a rear charge, plus a terror out, plus Blood Roar, and yeah, we can see just a huge amount there. That's negative 41 leadership. Oh my god, so much. Negative 9 there, and there we go, there. That's them dealt with. So Pistoliers are going to charge over, try and see if they can fight Throt. Throt really wants to get on top of Boris. Boris flies away, so Throt has nowhere to go. He can now fight up against the Pistoliers, but removing that mobility is pretty strong. It's pretty strong. So you can see here the Weeping Blades ability coming out of the Eshin Triads is going to be holding quite nicely, and it's going to actually prevent the Amber Wizard from fighting up against regular Clan Rats, because he just doesn't have enough armor here to really keep off all this damage. Empire Knights run away, you see swords moving in, and you're just going to get the Weeping Blades ability, which is just going to half their armor, which is really good just for regular Clan Rats to really rip apart them with no armor. But Throt has been caught. Throt has been caught. This is really unfortunate. We don't have any summons, nothing to help him. He's actually probably going to break here, and he's just right next to the edge. This is where you cannot get caught with this character. Can he get away? He actually breaks. It depends. So the forces are over this side of him, so he's actually going to pull this way. He's going to break over here. And I didn't see the screen, but that looked to be army losses, and I think that's going to be the end for the Skaven. Yes, it was. GG's well played. GG's well played. Cool HR there had to absolutely claw that back. GG's well played to him. Very nice stuff. 1,600 for Boris. 830 there for the Amber Wizard. 250, 900 for the Spearman. Very nice. 200 there as well, with 42, 120, 30, 355, and 320 there. Sigma Suns, 141 kills, 380. Pardon me. We are going to see 80 kills there, 730, 570, 411, and 750 there for 65. Pistoliers in at 1,000, 1,150, 620, and 500. Yeah, Pistoliers very good in this matchup. Very good indeed. So, 1,500 there for Throt the Unclean, 320 there for the Plague Priest. Plague Priest, very, very clutch indeed. I think, you know, keeping him a little bit more alive would have been better. I think more Rat Ogres here actually would have been decent. Rat Ogres are just particularly strong indeed. It's also nice to have Wolf Rats as well. So you can see 175, 150, 47, and 29. Having those in the later stages would have been more important than throwing them there at the beginning, unfortunately. 1.2k there for the Eshin Triads, 1.4, nearly 1.5 there for the Warlocks, and 1.1 for the Natty Bobo Sharpshooters. 200 with 560 for the Clan Falcon Tail Slashers, here with 150, 530, and 340 for the Clan Rats. 56, 28, 46, and 140 there for the Skaven Slaves, with 280 and 540 there for the Rat Ogres. Yeah, pretty good stuff. 1.5k from Throt. Very interesting battle. Very, very interesting battle. So I'll go Bretonia, Band, Dwarfs, and Chaos. So GG's there to Cool HR. GG's indeed. Yeah, I think if the Natty Bobos had seen a little bit earlier, we got a couple of shots that would have given -5 leadership by being under fire, then taking damage, losing in combat, all these negatives that would have bounced up on top of each other. If Boris had broken and gone off the battlefield, it's done. It's done. Because when your Lord goes off, you also get a massive faction-wide negative to leadership, which is going to be -16, which, as you saw there for the Wolf Rats, they've only got 34 leadership. So when that breaks and goes off the edge of the map, or your Lord dies, -16 leadership, that's pretty much half your leadership for Wolf Rats. So, you know, it's a huge drop in leadership. And then when you consider Terror as well, like, Fear is -8 leadership, always, and then Terror is an extra 13 on top of that. which means if you do actually drop below 0 and terror causes you to drop below 0, you then get what's called terror routed. Yeah, it's absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. So yeah, it's going to be a big Dubski here coming in, a big clawback there for sure. Call HR is going to take a point here. There we go. Welcome back, OBS. Certainly taken a while there. So I got pinged by a couple of things here. Let me make sure it's nothing too much. So I just seen something here. Alrighty. Alright, looks like Lizardmen is going to be the pick. Yep, Lizardmen is very strong against Bretonia. So that's going to be a pretty tough one there. So we are going to be seeing Astilian Tomb as the next map. So in Astilian Tomb here, going to be sort of a small to medium-sized map. Good tree coverage, very good Vanguard deployments. Yeah, very nice map overall. I think Lizardmen here can do quite nicely up against Bretonia. Big dinosaurs, and you know, they do struggle with a lot of large things. I think the big boy is normally quite good in this matchup, bringing the King Leon Kerr. He can do, Leon Kerr can do some nice stuff here for sure. He's a big boy, good regen. Yeah, he's very strong. Him with a paladin and then a healing caster is, you know, sort of always a strong way to go, for sure. So it looks like here we are going to be getting quite a bit of support for both sides. That's quite nice there to see, quite nice to see. So I'll be asking you guys a question in just a moment. Yeah, so I've asked you guys the questions here. So, would you all like to see a final end of Warhammer 2 faction tier list for multiplayer? This is going to just roughly be my opinions. I'm not going to put too much stock into it. Like, I'm not going to put like a load of hours of theory crafting and thinking. It's just going to be a rough approximation of where I think roughly things are at the end of the game. Things moving up and down, and I'm sure if we had, you know, an extra month, 2-3 months, you know, things would move and change, and you know, rules and changes in rules certainly change how a lot of this here is. You know, it certainly changes a lot of how the game like changes up. So, for example, rules, for example, we saw that Taurox and the Doom Balls became SEMs in the new rules for Fruit Rules. And like, for example, a super weapon there for the Arca Sotek. And, that certainly changes up matchups and how powerful certain factions are. And, they can change up these rules. And if you answer no, what it will be is, if you don't want that content, I will just give you another multiplayer battle. So, or I'll just give you something else. Or if you say no, you don't want it, please suggest down below what else you would prefer. And then at least I know what else you'd want. Yeah, so I'll just, essentially I've got 2 video slots left for Warhammer 2, and then after that it's done. So Wednesday I've got, so Sunday today, Wednesday I've got my very last tournament ever. So for those that want to go play in that, so for Warhammer 2, this is going to be my last ever tournament. So if you want to get involved, everybody is welcome. You can jump in here and go sign up. Really, really cool, fun tournament. Monday and Tuesday will be my last video sections, where I'll do videos there. I might even do a last live stream there on Twitch. And then as of the 10th, Thursday, I'll be, boom, that's it, straight into Warhammer 3. Yeah, so if you say no, just suggest why. The only other things that I can suggest that I'll give is maybe I'll do King of the Hill instead, or maybe I will do just 2 other videos. Is the only other stuff that I can recommend. So let me know what you want to see. Let me know what you want to see. There's 2 days left here. Also, you guys that watch my live streams are also like a lot of people that watch my videos might be interested to see what they, because I think I have a big divide. Half of you love watching my videos but don't watch my live streams, and half of you like watching my live streams but don't so much watch my videos, if that makes sense. Yeah, so let me know what you want to see. I did a little series on the dwarfs, because the dwarfs is my sorry, I just got a few messages here. Let me just double check that everything's okay. Cool. Yeah, so it looks like they're both going to be ready. Yeah, so just let me know what you want to see. So just message anything down below if you want something different. Because we've got 2 days left. 2 days left to Warhammer 2, and then as far as I'm concerned, it's done. So just let me know what you want to see, I guess. Let me know what you want to see. And one thing I probably won't do, like, I could do it if you really, really want me to, but I don't think it's wise, but I could do how I think Warhammer 2 factions are going to do in Warhammer 3, but it's just a shot in the dark. I have more chance of finding a needle in a haystack, because the thing is all of the factions are going to change when it comes to Warhammer 3. So whatever you think about now, they're like, oh, peasants are going to be really, really strong, like these cheap battle farmers. There's 120 of them, and you can just keep spamming them on points and stuff. It's probably going to change. Like, they're probably going to change. They'll probably become more expensive. It's probably what I'm thinking. But, values, unit sizes, and all these things are going to change to balance out the game, because the new game is balanced for domination. This is balanced for pitch battles. So there's going to be a lot of mixed match in there. So it's like I've got a couple of you guys here that are voting. Half of me watches all your game videos, and the other half watches the live streams. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Parker. That's true. Yeah, I tell you what, Parker. I'll be interested in you as well, like an old school fan. And when I mean old school, I mean Parker has watched me since day dot. So since I pretty much started, he's been watching me. What would you like to see as well? Do you guys want to, like? I also specifically want to know what Parker wants as well. Do you guys want to see more live streams? Do you want to see more videos? What do you want to see from me when it comes to Warhammer 3? That is going to go out tonight. I am going to do a poll tonight on what you want to see on YouTube. Do you want to see live streams of me? Because you will get live streams, guaranteed, because I will be doing stuff on Twitch, because you can't do videos on Twitch. So what do you want to see in Warhammer 3? What do you want from me? Let me know. I like multiplayer battles, happy to see Warhammer 2 content, but would like to start seeing Warhammer 3 stuff. Hey, Michael, how you doing? Welcome, my friend. Yeah, true clock. Yeah, Thursday is the earliest I can do anything. My embargo doesn't start till there, so I can't do anything until then, unfortunately. So, let's go into the finals. So, game 2 here, 1-0 for College Yard. Starting here with College Yard, we are going to have Skink Cohort Javelins, backed up here by Red-Crested Skinks. We are going to have a bunch of Temple Guards here in the front, anti-large armor piercing, good up against all Bretonian cavalry. Double solar engine, no, just one here with an Arca Sotek, backed up by a Skink Priest of Beasts. and Krogar. So here with the Manticore Summon and the Wilson's Wild Form here, with the man here with the Hand of the Gods, as well as the Swiftness of Itzel and the Deadly Onslaught. On his probably his most cost efficient on the Horned one, which is what he's going to be on here. Anti-large armor piercing, great armor, good mobility, and overall just very strong. More Red Crested Skinks, more Saurus Spears. They're pretty good armor piercing Saurus Spears actually. Backed up by Pterodon Riders in the sky. You always want a couple. You always want a couple. But yeah, Saurus Spears here. We are going to see. Out of that 42, you're going to see bonus first large 16, 13 armor piercing, which is, you know, it's exceptional. Think about Dread Spears, they've got pretty good melee attack and armor piercing. That's only 6, so they're going to over double that. So Foot Squires on the floor, anti-infantry armor piercing, good bad boys indeed. We are going to see a bunch of the battle farmers here in the front. These boys do the work here for the Bretonnian lords. We are going to see King Leon Kurt in the sky. He is not on Bequeath, but he is going to be on a regular Pegasus. Okay. We are going to have Sword of Corone, Lion Shield, as well as Stand Your Ground, Foe Seeker, as well as the Beloved Son of Bretonia. Now, that's interesting there, I'm going to say that, because on Bequeath, he just gets more HP, he punches harder, he doesn't really lose that much speed, he's still 100 speed, so yeah, it's an interesting one. Paladin on the floor as well, with Guardian. The only one he can really help is King Leon Kerr, but he's in the sky. Yeah, this is a weird combo. This is a weird combo. I don't quite understand this. I'm not too sure. I'll have to talk to El Yakist about this to get his thoughts. But I think, you know, if King Leon Kerr is going to be on the sky, and I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure because, you know, we'll drop back to it. But for example, King Leon Kerr, he's going to be having the regen here from the Beloved Son of, from the Ladies Champion, so he gets a lot of healing. So the fact if you're just going to be thicker and tankier and have more HP on Bequeath, you might as well go with Bequeath. But of course, you know, you save money, so you know, it depends. But yeah, the double blessed field trebuchets, so they actually do no damage up against your own troops. They have no friendly fire, and it's like here's going to be a bunch of peasants here on the side as well. So yeah, pretty good stuff. In the back here, we are going to have the men at arms, the pole arms, including the Beast Slayers of Baston. Not a fan of these boys. I absolutely love them as an ideology. Like, I just think they should be incredibly cool, but they're just not. They really suck. They're really bad. 80 armor is like okay. Leadership's fine. They do have okay anti-large. They're like 22 bonus for large, 18 armor piercing. They're like okay. They don't have great melee attack. Yeah, for their price pool, they're just not good. Like Empire Halberds will just do as well as Beast Slayers of Baston. Like, for the money, yeah, they're just so much better. Beast Slayers of Baston are just not good. They're just not good. I'm also very keen to try out the campaign multiplayer mode, although I'm sure how easy it would be to cast those. So that's one thing I can do, Parker Ritter, is I can go onto Twitch as well, and I can do, I'm going to be doing some single player on there. So I can do single player with the, you know, 8 players. We can also do all sorts of things, Well, it's like Senegal won the... Oh, Senegal won the... Oh, they won the African Cup of Nations. No way. Nice. Big fan of that. Hey, Mr. Contende. How are we, my friend? Welcome, my friend. How are we? How are we? For those who don't know Contende, you should already. I speak about him enough. But he's an absolute gentleman, and he does do casting there on the Twitch side of things. Mr. Contender, if you want to leave yourself a little link there down below for people to go check you out on Twitch, feel free to, my friend. But yeah, do go give him a little cheeky checkout, and on your way out, do leave a nice cheeky follow. So in the back here, we are going to be using the nice 360 here from the Basilodon. He's going to be firing here up against the Blessed Field Trebuchets, and we'll be taking down models for sure. In the sky here, we can see a buckload of arrows here coming on the Pterodons. These bad boys, they need to go on a bit of a venture. They need to go around the side. If they come straight in the front on their own, because of course you want the arrows here getting a little bit of target practice on the front line of the Temple Guard. You don't really want them getting the big meaty and juicy fire here on the Pterodons, because they only have 15 armor. They can take a lot of damage. You want to get those round the outside, and then you want to get them on top of the peasant bowmen and get on those rock drops, and they'll do all the business. Being you're already in the middle, you know, you're flustering around here. You're going to take so much unnecessary damage. Just get on, get the rock drops, and move on. Yep, for sure. So the rock drops should happen here. There you go, there's one, and there's two. And look at the rock drops. Rock drops do a lot of damage, so nice work there indeed. So the Knights of the Lion-Hearted charging over here to the left-hand side. Probably here to come help up against these Skin Cohort Javelins. But one thing here from efficiency from Call HR, he's taken half damage on his Pterodons that he could have just like negated. Like he just didn't need to take that damage. But you know, that comes with time and understanding and good mobility. Good micro, and yeah, you know, it takes time. So shot here on the Ferromanticore, we're going to get another Ferromanticore on both sides. So actually it's going to be a Beastcaster. Didn't see that there. So we're going to have a Beastcaster and a Transformation of Gudon, that's it. If you're going to bring just the Transformation of Gudon, the passive, the lore passive, you don't need it. You don't need it. That's just a waste of 80 gold. It's not necessary. Yeah, here it's much better. You're going to get the Wildson's Wild Form and the Transformation. It only takes 40 for both spells of your 60 mana, and then you can use the Wildson's Wild Form to kind of, you know, bolster up the rest. So charging over here is going to be the Paladin. Do chase this bad boy off. As you can see, King Leoncoeur is just getting bullied on the floor by Krokgar. He's anti-large, armor piercing, deadly onslaught, and King Leoncoeur, now he's broken. That's no regen for him anymore. Regen's gone. He doesn't come back. So unfortunately, it's going to be a big loss for him. He's going to get munched up here by Krokgar, and that's going to be the end of the day there for the Bretonnians. So we're going to be firing here at the front. Temple Guard getting shot. We can see the Skin Cohorts moving in. We actually don't really want the Temple Guard fighting up against the Foot Squads. Foot Squads will trade ultimately efficiently here up against the Temple Guard. You want the Saurus doing that work and the Javelins. In the middle, you want the Temple Guard fighting up against the Cavalry and all the other key components. So we break here with the Paladin. We are going to be chasing off here. 78 speed for Krokgar. It's going to be 75 there for the Paladin. So he's going to get in behind and give the good munch. He's going to be alongside him, just really intimidating him. Look how intimidating this would be, right? If you were charging and you just saw this big flip-off dinosaur face on your right flank. And you're like, I'm trying to get away. And you can't get away. You're getting absolutely dominated. But Ferromanticore goes purple. That thing dies. And Krokgar, he's a happy boy. He's a happy boy. And so he should be. And so he should be. He's done well. He's been good boy. Good boy. In the back here, we are going to be breaking the Peasant Bowman. Lovely stuff here coming in from the Lizardmen. Yeah, Temple Guard and just Krokgar is just GG's well played, really. Yeah, these bad boys, they do the munchy munch. They do the munchy munch. Saurus Spears fighting up against Foot Squires, not ideal for them. That's where Saurus Warriors actually do really well into Foot Squires. 70 armor is light armor, it's not enough. And they have 18 armor piercing with those maces. Yeah, they just crump the living daylights out of the Foot Squires. Bonus for infantry is not huge for them either, I don't believe. The bonus for infantry is pretty small. You can see in a bonus for infantry of 9, so it brings them up to sort of, what, 35 melee attack? I think they've got 34 melee defense, so yeah. Just don't think they're worth it for 700 gold. In the middle here, what we're going to get the Overcast Wildson's Wild Form. So it's going to give plus 30 armor, base weapon damage, and armor piercing increases here in the middle. It's actually going to give 170 armor for the Bastiladon. The boy is a literal living tank here in the middle. He's going to charge up against the men-at-arms polearms. And the Beast Slayers. The one thing I'd actually like Beast Slayers for is if they actually had immune to psychology, but they don't. So they get crumped, and that's GG's well played. GG is well played. There's going to be some Foot Squads and stuff sort of darting around and coming back in, but you know the Lizardmen have more than they've damaged everything they need to. The Archers are pretty much the only way back in, but even then you've got a Bastiladon with 140 armor. Hand of the Gods tries it, but it hits so many trees. The Knights of the Lionhearted kind of get away with that. There's a few of them, they're just hanging out. Shield's nice and high. Yeah, they've not had a good day. So maybe a weekly schedule for different types of streams. Yeah, 100%. I'd be down for that. That should have said I'm not sure. yeah, fair enough. There is so much I can do. There is so much for Warhammer 3 that I can release. My rough idea is to all multiplayer on YouTube, because that's what you guys are here for. So there's going to be multiplayer videos and multiplayer live streams. Pardon me. Backed up by single player stuff and also other multiplayer stuff outside, like maybe like some King of the Hills and that sort of thing, or some Come At Me Bros, which you guys might like to see. Maybe some ladder stuff from me as well over the next week will be also on Twitch. So you get two elements that could come from both sides. So hopefully it should be some good stuff. So 107 there for King Leoncoeur with 250 there for the Paladin. A really weird mixture. Not too sure about that. I think Eliakis needs to go back to the drawing board on this build. Yeah, King Leoncoeur was way more squishy, and I think if you had a Paladin in the sky with Guardian, you could maybe justify that. But yeah, I'm not too sure about that. I'm not too sure about that one for sure. I think King Leoncoeur on Bequeath backed up by the Paladin in the sky, and then you have the Damsel. Beast is good, but I always think healing's quite nice for the Paladin and Leoncoeur. So that could have been quite decent. Frontline did, you know, fine as what you would expect, like 91 damage, 83 and 60, just decent for peasant mobs. 290, 350, and 620. You can see 620 is where you're going to see the most, and that one there was probably fine up against Temple Guard. The other one, maybe the other one was fine up against Sword of Spears, not too sure, but yeah, even for 61 kills, like, you got some okay value. Like, not brilliant, but you can see, even at the best, 620, they didn't even pay for themselves. They didn't pay for themselves, and they fired up against, you know, heavily armoured troops that paid for bonus first large. Like, Swords Warriors pay for bonus first large, and they pay for anti-large here as well, for, like, the Sword of Spears, and they still didn't even pay for themselves. And these things are designed to kill these units. So, you know, I'll let that speak for itself. Beast there's a Bastone. They needed to get on top of the Bastillodons, and even then, you know, they didn't pay for themselves. These are, what, 950 gold, so they came in, what, under half. I really like Men-at-Arms Polearms. I think they're really strong in this matchup. Peasant Bowmen do really nicely as well. Pox Arrows, I think, is where they do best in this matchup. Fire Arrows aren't really that good. Not much has regeneration from the Lizardmen. 1,150, and I think, actually, just one Blessed Field Trebuchet is quite nice. I don't think you need two. I think if I was going to revamp this build, I'd go Bequeath on Leoncoeur. I'd go a Flying Paladin for support with physical resistance. You just go in with... you only bring the Guardian, that's it. You don't need anything else. You go a Healing Caster that also has Dwellers Below. That can really deal good damage up against the Temple Guard. And then from there, you're probably looking at Men-at-Arms and Men-at-Arms Polearms for the main battle line force. Peasant Pox Arrows, a couple units of cavalry, and maybe one of the Blessed Field Trebuchets. It's probably what you're looking at here for the Bretonnians, I would suggest. But Crocodile 2,500, he single-handedly just grabbed King Leoncoeur by the neck and just dragged him through the mud, and then spat on him and then kicked him off the battlefield. Pretty much is what happened there. Skink Priest got 56. Manticore Summons just countered the Manticore Summons here from the Bretonnians. 200 and 360 there from the Red Crested Skinks. Yeah, pretty good armor piercing. They'll thump even pretty hard up against foot squires. And even cavalry. They've got enough armor piercing to carry themselves, so they'll even hit hard against cavalry. 440 there for the Spearmen with 880, 900 and 250. You can see this one's got butchered pretty hard. You can see this one did struggle a little bit. But 415, 313 there for the Skink Javelins. Just mass Skink Javelins, they'll deal, just the volleys will kill all of the peasant mobs. And then, you know, you can use the Skink Cohorts to get around the back and shut down. They got 46 speed. That's why they're so good. You know, a combination of the Temple Guards and Sword Spears backed up by Skink Cohort Javelins will just do the job. They'll do the job. The Skink Cohort Javelins will just thump the front line, and then you'll move to the expensive stuff in the middle to fight up against the Men-at-Arms and the Polearms, and then you'll have pretty much the fast Skink Cohorts, use them a little bit like cavalry just to get around the back and shut down the peasant mobs. In the top here, you've got the Terran Riders. Yeah, one of them kind of got thrown away a little bit, but the rock drops will clear out the rest. So 970 there for the Terran Riders. You got 330 there for the second, 650 there for the Bastillon Arc of Sotek, and 401 there for the Solar Engine. Thank you very much, Mr. Muckluck, for the drop there. Where's the link for Logic's Twitch account? Yeah, right there with Muckluck. Thank you very much, buddy. I really appreciate that. Yeah, so you can find me there on Twitch. Do go on there, you know, give it a cheeky follow. It really does help. It really, really does help. Helps a lot, boys and girls. It really does help a lot. Yeah. So yeah, 16 votes. Looks like a lot of you guys are interested. Okay, so it looks like I will be going to do it. I'll probably put that out tomorrow. I'll probably put that video out tomorrow then. I've got an idea of some stuff. I'll try and keep it as short as I can. Yeah, I think the last one was sort of 25 minutes. I thought there's probably about... I could probably do one for about 20 minutes and still get some good conversation going and some rationale and that kind of thing. So we should be able to get out a nice video there. And then I'll finish off with one nice big battle somewhere. So Kolichari is going to take the lead here. He's going to be 2 in the front. It now comes down to Yale East to see if we can really pull it back. Hey... Got a nice message there. So yeah, I'd just say there for Elyak East, if he goes back and watches this. Yeah, so I'd say for Elyak East, I would go back to the drawing board on that build. Bretonians, I think Lisbon is their worst matchup. I think by far. Them and Dwarfs are by far their worst matchups, and they should be the first bans for sure. Under any matchup, it's their first bans. It should be their first consideration. So if you're doing the pick 2 and you want to play Bretonia, you need to have something that's going to counter Lizardmen. Yeah. You need to have something that's going to counter Lizardmen, or something you don't mind fighting Lizardmen against. So for example, if you go, say, like, I think a pretty bad combo is like Bretonia Wood Elves, because then you can go, okay, cool, I'll happily pick Lizardmen into Wood Elves and Bretonia. So Wood Elves ban Chaos and Greenskins. Okay, so I need to write this down here, make sure that we've got all the good stuff done. So the first game here for Call It Char, we had Empire. And then this game here, we went with the Lizardmen. And then here we had Skaven. And then we also had Bretonia. So being we're going to be picking here with the Wood Elves, we know that Skaven and Bretonia are out. So against Wood Elves, Bretonia is quite strong. Heavily armoured cav can be difficult for skirmish to deal with. So being that Bretonia is out the window, we can now ban Chaos and Greenskins. HI is scared of the wide 6 skirmish, I see. Indeed, Mucky Luck. Indeed. He is. Greenskins are pretty good against the Wood Elves. They're very cost efficient indeed in that matchup. Right. Ooh, dang. That is not what I expected. You normally see Wood Elves picked into Dwarfs. I was expecting a High Elf or something like this. That's interesting. Interesting. Should be interesting to see how this is going to go. Alright, so for the Dowie, how do we play this? So there's multiple ways you can do this, and I think for both sides, this is traditionally Wood Elf. Traditionally, it's Dwarfen favoured very heavily, but with the comeuppance here of the Wood Elves and the changing in the Starfire shafts, it's going to become a more even game. So if we look at it here with the Dwarfs, or let's take a look at the Wood Elves. The Wood Elves is an easier place to start. We are going to see lots of arrows. Like we know Wood Elves is known for its mobility, skirmish, and archer play. We know that's what it's known for. It's very, very light armoured, very mobile faction. Hiya, bracket please. No problem, my friend, no problem. It is in the description, so you should be able to find it there in the description, Mr. Loopy. But there we go. There is the challenge there for you. Also, Mr. Loopy, my friend, if you want to get involved in my last challenge tournament, so my last tournament for Warhammer 2, if you want to get involved, my friend, it is right there. So I'll do a quick plug-in one last time for those that are here. So this is going to be for my Death, Destruction, Order, Honor, and Chaos. So for this tournament, which is... I think it's a pretty fun one. I think it's a pretty fun one to end everything on. You get to pick any one of your alliances. So you get Death, Destruction, Order, Honor, and Chaos. They're 5 different elements, and they're all as they say. So for Death, you can get Vampire Counts, Vampire Pirates, and Tomb Kings. Now, if you pick Death, you have to use Death for the entire of the tournament. It's all best of 3s. So if you get a Death against a Destruction, so Destruction is Greenskins, Dark Elves, and Skaven, you'll be those 3 factions against those 3 factions. And then you have to play against each other. It's pretty simple. It's a pick one, ban one system. So you pick one. So let's say I pick Vampire Counts. I ban Dark Elves. I then have to play Greenskins or Skaven into the Vampire Counts. And then once you've used one, you can't really use it. That's it. So the next game has to be either Vampire Pirates or Tomb Kings. And then, the player 2 goes next. So they might go like, okay, I'm going to pick Greenskins. And then they might just say like, and then I'm going to ban whatever. And then, it's just sort of like that. It's not super balanced. It's not optimal in any way, shape, or form. It's just a fun tournament. So, don't think too much about it. I know on some level it's going to be pretty tough regardless. Yeah, it's just a fun tournament. It's just a fun tournament. So, hopefully you guys can enjoy it. Oh, and looks like here the ODM boys released a video. So come here, Alfredino, talking about the best infantry in the game. Oh, the AP Loonies. What a video. Oh, I certainly will be watching that, that's for sure. I like my 8-peat loons. Oh, my 8-peat loons are so cool. Hey, Marcus Hill. When is it? It's on Wednesday. So my Warhammer 3... goes live on Thursday, so the last tournament is on Wednesday. Yes. I can't decide between Destruction and Chaos. Let's have a little look at these bad boys. So Destruction and Chaos. So Destruction is going to be Greenskins, Dark Elves, Skaven. And then Chaos is going to be the Warriors of Chaos, Norsca, and Beastmen. Honor is Bretonnia, Dwarves, High Elves. Order is Empire, Lithermen, Wood Elves. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Now, some of these, I think 1 or 2 of them doesn't make perfect sense, but I can't fit them all in specifically into categories. But it should be fun. It should be fun. Cheers. Yeah, no problem, Loopy. But I thought it might be a tournament idea that some people might like, some others might not. But, it's there. I thought I'd do a nice fun tournament to end off Warhammer 2. A nice send-off. So we're going to be having the Wood Elgie here. So the Wood Elgie, as we were talking about, mobility, range, and generally light armor. You're going to be setting a lot of arrow fire. So for the dwarves, they're going to be heavily armored. So you're going to want starfire sharps. You're going to want armor piercing. So here for the dwarven forces, they're going to want shields. They're going to want to negate a lot of the incoming missiles. Let's look at Dowie. Yep, so they're going to want to bring a lot of shields. They're going to want to bring a lot of units that can fire back as well. So you're probably looking at Rangers. Quarras are pretty nice as well. Quarras are going to have bronze shields, 80 armor, so they can negate a lot of incoming missile damage. They can also take a lot of brunt of charge there from some other units. So unless people have got a lot of armor piercing, it's going to be quite tough. Wednesday, I have weight. Yeah, sorry about that, Michael. I do understand for a lot of people, especially over the America side of the world, 5 PM kickoff, which for me is is pretty sensible. It's where I try and include it. It's kind of the best time to include as many people as possible, but on a Wednesday, I understand a lot of people are going to be working. In Europe, it's pretty decent. 5 PM, if you're talking like France, Spain, it's going to be 6 PM, and you get into Russia, you're looking at sort of 7, 8, 9 PM. So, and it's really unfortunate. If anybody has Wednesday off in America, it's pretty decent. It's not too bad of a start. You'll be looking at sort of midday, like 10 o'clock to midday, that sort of thing. Maybe even 9 o'clock in the morning, so people can join, but it's a tough one where to start the tournaments. It's really tough. So we have Soul Quench and Apotheosis here for the Spellweaver of High here. and the Arcane Conduit. So, yeah, pretty interesting for Quality Char. I can exactly see how this is going to work. We have Waystalkers in the front, I think here with the Arrows of Kernos. That's it. Backed up by Starfire Shafts. Starfire Shafts, Starfire Shafts, Starfire Shafts, Starfire Shafts. Here with the Lost Sylvan Knights, Eternal Guards, Way Watchers, and Deepwood Scouts. So we're going for a kite build. Yeah, so strap yourselves in. This is going to be an interesting one. We are going to have cannons here for Elyak East. We are going to have the blasting charging miners, dwarf warriors, bunch of shields. We're also going to have the warriors of Dragonfire Pass. Pretty good indeed. I think they should actually have fire resistance, the warriors, but you know, it's my thoughts. Longbeards and a bucket load of rangers. We are going to have the Master Engineer. We are going to have Thoric Iron Brow. So the good old Thoric. Here with the Rune of Slowness, the Rune of Speed, as well as the Rune of Doom, the Thoric's Rune Armor, the Master Rune of Ancient Law, and then also here Rune of Hearth and Home, and Forge Fire. So we're going to be using Soul Quench and Arrows of Kernos to kill the cannons, and then the Elgi are going to look to just kite and finish off the dwarfs. Yeah. I am from Germany, so it's okay, I hope. Yeah, so for you, Michael, it will be 6 PM. It'll be 6 PM. It'll be 6 PM for you when the tournament starts. Yes. So hopefully it'll be okay for you, Michael. I don't know if 6 PM works for you. So it'll be 6 o'clock in the evening. Hopefully you can play in that. So just wait for these two to start. It looks like I think they're both going to be ready. Yeah, it's going to be a good look, have fun from Quality Char. I'd love to see the sportsmanship here between both of these players. I'm in your Discord. How do I apply for it? So there's a link above, my friend. So you click on the link. So under tournaments, so if you go into the Discord, there is a section called tournaments. And then there is a tournament announcement section. So any tournaments I do, there will be an announcement there. You just click on the link that says Death, Destruction, Order, Honor, and Chaos. You click on that. It will take you to challenge. And then you just sign up. I'll send another link here in the channel as well. So I'll send another link here for you to go to the register page. So if you click on this link, you can then register there. Normally yes, but I work at the hospital. Ah, okay. What is the tournament format? Milan, are you speaking about the tournament that I'm casting currently, or the other tournament that we are discussing? Are you talking about the Death, Destruction, Order, Honor, and Chaos? Perfect, Michael. Lovely to see. Or are you talking about the tournament here that we are discussing? So good luck, have fun. We are now going to be starting into the cannons. They could fire here up against the Spellweaver Hyde. She's going to be in range. We certainly could get a couple of shots here going down pretty hard. There's a little bit of something on my screen. So we could see a bit of cannon fire here. We are going to see attack by artillery. That seems to be the case. Yeah, we are going to see a Soul Quench. That is going to kill a cannon model. Ballistics, so it's going to be increased accuracy here, so we are going to be firing. That's going to be hitting pretty hard. The Spellweaver's got like, what, 110 speed? So she's just going to head on out of here. That's not a problem. Okay, so it looks like here the Waystalker is going to be shooting in. Now, I'm perfectly fine with the Spellweaver High coming in and doing some casts if we have progress here coming in for the Ranger of the Force. One thing that I do not allow is just like doing spells and shooting with a single entity. It does not fulfill the attacking rules. So shots here in the front, we are going to see Glayguard Starfire Shafts getting shot here. We are going to see some Way Watchers coming in the right. Way Watchers probably want to shoot up against Doric. He does have 135 armor. This should be interesting. Yes, this one. This one here is going to be what's called the Shortbeard Tournament. Milan. So, welcome my friend, hope you're having a good time. Shortbeard Tournament here is a tournament for specifically new players. So if you're a new player here to the Total War Warhammer scene, this here is a tournament only designed for new players to play in. But also here we also do a Shortbeard League, which is a league designed for new players to get experience up against other new players. So other big players in the game, like Falcon, Anticity, Turin, they're not going to be here. So it basically gives you a chance to play up against other players of your experience level. So it gives you basically a free chance to learn here and play in the scene. So Ranger's going to be shooting here. They're going to hit quite a lot on the Spellweaver. She's going to be shooting downtown here. And that's going to have a nice shot there on the Iron Breakers. That did a lot of damage. That killed 25 models. And yeah, that's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good indeed. Cannons here going to be shooting up against the Spell Weaver. And yeah, pretty good stuff. Didn't actually see what was on the guy here. So we are going to have the ballistics calibration and flash. So that's going to give the accuracy increase here. Flash bomb for the slows and Fairy Ringatory should be able to delete a lot of the archers coming in. So yep, a lot of the infantry here is going to be getting shot. Miners and blasting charges aren't particularly good in this matchup just because they don't have any shields and they just get wrecked by armor piercing range. So it looks like here, Weight Watcher is going to be shooting up against the Master Engineer. Master Engineer actually needs to come over here and then start shooting up against the Spellweaver. We do break in the middle there with the Miners with blasting charges. Cannons are going to be shooting here up into the Spellweaver High. She will heal. We're going to get another Soul Quench. I don't know where this one's going to go. No, the Soul Quench didn't go down. But the caster is dying. She's dying. You can use Apotheosis, but that's not going to heal her a great amount. Soul Quench down the line. Soul Quench actually goes after the Master Engineer. He needs to come over here and then start getting some pop shots up against the Spellweaver. He's got 180 range. He can get in there and he can shoot her. So we are going to break with the Spellweaver. Now, if we get the accuracy increase, which looks like we do have, and also the reload skill, that's actually going to reduce. So with the reload skill here, it looks like it's not going to be activated now. So it's going to be 19.8 seconds. So we'll wait till that's reactivated and we'll see what sort of effect that has. So Spellweaver, negative 36 leadership. She'll be going off the edge of the map. That's the end of days there for her. But for the rest of the battle line, we can see the Starfire Shafts are going to be breaking here on the left as well. But we do have Weight Watchers, they're going to be shooting into the middle. Weight Watchers want to shoot Thoric. I think shooting anywhere else is a mistake. Lost Silver Knight, 75% physical resistance for the Ethereal unit. The Lord dies. So that's negative 16 leadership map wide. That's going to be very good here. But the Lost Silver Knights are definitely some of the most gorgeous units in the game. These things, 2k for cavalry. They are the most expensive. Here they will be having physical resistance. And we don't really have any magic damage here in this army apart from Thoric. Thoric is going to be the only magic damage. We do have the Fire Ringatory that can do some work, but you can see the Master Engineer does break, and he'll be getting pushed off. We are going to be losing Rangers, and then pretty much here we're just going to get kited to death by the Wood Elves. Hey, Rusty, how are you? My boy HR doing us proud. Indeed. Rusty, you could have been doing us proud as well, but looks like you didn't make it, my friend. You didn't make it. Yeah, so Michael, yeah, as Muckluck nicely said, if you are unable to make it, no problem. That's why we have a check-in system. So an hour before the tournament, you check in, just say yes, I'm available, still ready to go. And if you can't make it, it's not a problem. Yeah, it is what it is. But you know, it's better to sign up and be able to play than not sign up and then not have the chance to play. So here in the map, we are going to see the Master Engineer, negative 6 leadership. He will be going off the edge of the map, so unfortunately that Fire Ringatory will not be getting used here. But you can see the Dwarfs they can't catch. They're just going to get shot to death. It's really not fun sometimes to play like this with the Dwarfs. It can be quite difficult because here you're just getting shot and there's nothing you can do about it. You can run and try and catch these, but they're going to kite you to death. So there's not a lot you can do. Rune of Slowness goes down here on the Lost Silver Knights. We are going to move forward here with the Longbeards, try and catch. Ironbreaker's still in the back, but there's not really too much Ironbreakers to do. We do actually come back here with the Master Engineer. We could get a Fire Ringatory here. We do actually kill a couple of models here with the cannons. The cannons are going to do some nice stuff. We do immediately break the Master Engineer, so he's going to go off as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if the W Elves have enough to kill this army when it runs out of ammo. It's pretty dead. This army's pretty dead. They've also still got Clay Guard here, still have 13 ammo. Weight Watchers still have 9 ammo. Starfire Shafts still have 13 ammo. You still have 8 ammo here. 10, 8, and 12. So there's a lot of ammo. There's a lot of ammo left. There's a lot of ammo. Now the Lord is dead. The Lord is dead here for the Wood Elky. So of course here, it's going to be negative 10 there. So it starts at negative 16 if the Lord dies and then drops to 10. If the Lord breaks and goes off the edge of the map, it starts at 16 but drops to 8. So, you can save yourself a little bit there. So the Rune of Doom has been activated, plus 24 melee attack, faction-wide here. So the boys can fight just a little bit stronger here at the front. The Eternal Guards are going to be falling. We do see here in the middle, the Dwarf Warriors fighting up against the Waystalker. They're going to be having 46 melee attack, and they're going to be kind of crunching here on the Waystalker, doing some nice work indeed. Arrows here still firing up against the Rangers. Rangers should be able to shoot back and do some nice damage in the pocket. You can see a lot of these kind of wrapping on each other. So you've got to be careful here. Like crossbow bolts will be able to rip through these and do multiple kills in one go if you're not careful. But you can see Lost Silver Knights here are just going to really clean up the back. They're going to do some lovely work indeed. Rangers are going to catch themselves a little bit out of shape. They're going to be a little bit too far away from the build here to have any help. All good, all very good Dwarven players will know you have to stick nice and close in the middle of the force. These have to stay nice and tight together. You want to be getting Thoric Ironbrow here fighting up against the Glade Guard with the Starfire Shafts. Ironbreaker's coming forward. Actually, it's Longbeard, sorry, coming forward. Ironbreaker's now going to be using Blaster Charge on the front. They'll delete a lot of the Glade Guard here. Only 15 armor for them. Cannon's still going to be going quite strong. Now, it really depends. This is going to get close. It all comes down to Lost Silver Knights. Lost Silver Knights here, you can see, I don't know, these Rangers must have been left, yeah, these bad boys have been left on the, what, I don't even know what it's called because I don't use it. It's the, it's the thing that when something comes too close, they just run away. I forgot what it's called. But it's been left on that because these are charging in. Like, the Rangers need to stay nice and close in the build. If they leave away, the rest of the build can't help it. You see, like, the Longbeards over here, the cavalry has the mobility to go over here and challenge these, and there's just nothing you can do to support it. Rangers are going to get charged down, but you can see there's a lot of chit damage here coming on the Lost Silver Knights. 15 models left. They have Terror, which is super handy, but a lot of the Dwarves here are breaking. There's still ammunition here to be spent. Units are moving in, but the Dwarves might be able to hold this. They need to push out, though, but you can see that all of the infantry's breaking. The Rangers coming in. Now they're going to start shooting the cannons. Thoric Ironbrow is still extremely healthy. This bad boy will do well. You want to actually get the Eternal Guards on top if you can. These arrows are on top of each other. I think for Thoric Ironbrow as well, having the Rune of Wrath and Ruin for the explosion can be quite nice here. You know, you get all these archers on top of each other, a bunch a little bit like this. You just pop a Rune of Wrath and Ruin on this, and you'll kill 2 units quite handedly. But for the most part, cannon crews are going to be wavering. We do see some Rangers. They need immediately to get back and start shooting here up against these Deepwood Scouts and the Rangers. It could be a Thoric carry here. It could be a Thoric carry. I don't know. It's hard to say how whoever plays this. But you can see the Lost Silver Knights are just cleaning up the back. There's nothing that can be done here to really stop this. You can see it's just going to be clearing out and terrifying the Rangers in the back. They don't have immune to psychology. So they're just going to break immediately and it's going to tear out all of this. But you can see Dwarfs in the back are going to be struggling. We have anti-large spears here, armor piercing. These Eternal Guard will just thump pretty hard against Thoric Ironbrow. The Longbeards will need to do some hard work for sure. Cannon's still going to be shooting. I don't know if they're going to be able to kill the models of the Lost Silver, and there's still 9 left, so they are going to do some good work. But Thoric needs to come fight these. He does magic damage, so he should be able to do the work. I think it's going to be a Rune of Speed. It is going to be a Rune of Speed, but Thoric's coming over. We could see a slap or two indeed here on the Lost Silver, and he is going to move over. He has pretty good speed, 44 there on his anvil. It looks like he's not going to be able to hit here with the Lost Silver. Arrows still shooting in here. We can see Starfire Shafts in the back. They're going to be shooting over the top here and doing some good work in the middle pocket. They're going to be shooting the Longbeards. Return here from the Dwarf Warriors. Thoric Ironbrow is healthy, but not uber healthy. We have run out of ammo. Lost Silver Knights really can't fight Thoric. He'll beat them down pretty quickly. But these Dwarfs do need to return if they can. Negative 15 here. It's going to be negative 16 there. Cannon crews are going to break off the edge of the map as well. We do get a return here from the Dwarf Warriors, but they'll get cleared out by the Lost Silver Knights. And this is where the later stages you see the Dwarves kind of getting pulled apart just by 1 unit of tanky cavalry. They'll certainly do all the work, and then the rest of the build will just pull down Thoric, and then you can cycle charge him to death here with the Lost Silver Knights. Starfire Shaft's going to shoot him. He has brilliant armor. Also has fire resistance, thanks to having his Thoric's Rune armor. But he's going to push into the middle here. As long as he can break the Eternal Guards, it should be great. And then fight up against the Glade Guard shouldn't be too tough. In the middle here, Dwarf Warriors, could we get maybe a bonus on melee attack here? Would be quite nice. Giving them fear as well for the Rune of Doom could be decent. We have run out of ammo here from the Deepwood Scouts. They can fight okay in combat. 1822, so it's pretty much looking about minor level. So there we go. Rune of Doom goes down. That's going to be fear. He needs to pull over here and fight the Lost Silver Knights. He has to fight the Lost Silver and has to ignore everything else. He needs to stay over here and fight the Lost Silver and just make sure they can't attack his Longbeards. So we're going to find here, we do break with the Dwarf Warriors. We are, the Waystalker is going to be pretty healthy. It's now going to be a cycle charge here with the Cavalry. Cavalry will push off the Dwarf Warriors as well. It's going to be Thoric Ironbrow versus the world here, I'm pretty sure. Oh, Rune of Slowness. That's nice. That's going to force these to get away. Dwarf Warriors might come back, but it says negative 21, so I highly doubt it. Exhaustion, fast and strong enemies nearby. Friends rousing. Yeah, it's not looking good. So we're moving here with the Waystalker. Waystalker has to be slapped here. He's got good weapon strength here to damage Thoric Ironbrow. If he just needs one successful hit and he'll be taking down Thoric pretty quickly. Thoric needs to fight here quicker. It's just Thoric Ironbrow. He needs to fight here. No, he's going to get taken down by the Waystalker then. So Thoric's going to be wavering. He is going to hold here a little bit. Yeah, Waystalker gets out. He does the damage.
Stunted fool!
Stunted fool. But yeah, the Waystalker here, he has 325 weapon strength and 55 melee attack, so he'll hit pretty successfully. There'll be a lot of resistance on Thoric, so he won't take as much damage, but he will take significant damage over time from the Waystalker. So we are going to turn and burn. If we get one hit here on the Waystalker, yeah, there we go. That's enough to break the Waystalker. Negative 29, that will see a break from him. And now we should be able to beat apart the Glade. Now, it really depends here. Lost Silverant could charge and beat down Thoric. We do have some more Eternal Guard on the back. I don't see Thoric winning this. Rune of Slowness was used, but one good juicy charge from the Lost Silver Knights with a good melee attack buff from Rune of Speed or Rune of Doom could do it. He does have immune to Psychology thanks to having the Rune of Hearth and Home. I do think he's a little bit expensive here, so he's got the Rune of Hearth and Home. He's also got the Forge Fire, which I don't think is all that necessary. There's a lot of expensive stuff here that came on Thoric. We are going to see Rune of Speed. So we are going to charge in here. They're going to thump pretty hard against Thoric, but Thoric's also going to thump back pretty hard. 9 models here. One successful attack should do it, but Spear's moving in. He breaks. That's army losses. GG's well played. Skirmish mode. Yes, that's the one. Daniel B, that's the one. Skirmish mode. Yeah, I forgot it. Yeah. Needs lots of rangers. Yeah, lots of rangers in this one, yeah. Is this matchup just not possible for dwarves? Or I think I'd say it's elven favoured. Now that this is gone, I'll quickly go through it in a minute, but I think this perhaps wasn't the force to take. So, 816 there for Thoric Ironbrow, with 0 there for the Master Engineer. 125, 44, and 190 there for the Minus of Blasting Charges. 147, 247, 280 there for the Dwarf Warriors, and 240 for the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass. 1,180 there for the Longbeards, with 680 for the Iron Breakers, 999, so basically 1,000, 621, 202, and 1,100 for the Rangers. You can see how well Rangers perform in this matchup. 1,375, 1,077 from the Cannons, and yeah, a nice performance indeed. 800 there for the Spell Weaver, 1,300 from the Waystalker, with 236, 666, and 403 from the Eternal Guard. 711, as well as 562, 650, 466, and 800 from the Starfire Shafts, with 400 here from the Glade Guard. 540 there for the Digwood Scouts, with 1,500 and 1,270 for the Way Watchers, and 1,063 there for the Lost Silver Knights. Really well played to Call HR. So Call HR here will be taking the victory here for Shortbeard Season 4. GG's well played to the big man. He's going to come through with a nice, good, gorgeous victory. GG's well played, gents. Congratulations to Call HR, commiserations to El Yak East, but we are going to be having Call HR as the last Shortbeard champion here for the tournament. He's actually not going to be able to compete anymore. He did win the top league, so he will be getting promoted there and will no longer be able to be a Shortbeard. But, you know, I'm sure in Game 3 we'll be seeing some great stuff coming from him. So, thank you very much to everybody that has watched today. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you did, of course, do smash that like button and subscribe. Really, both things do help here on the channel quite a bit. So, congratulations to Call HR, commiserations to El Yak East, but I'm sure we'll be seeing some big stuff from him as well. So, congratulations on the tournament. So we're going to say GG's well played there. I'm going to head off, so see you guys soon. Actually, let's have a look here with Mr. Call HR. Let's get him in here. So what I might do is try and see if we can borrow Call HR here for an interview and just, you know, see what was going through his head there in the final and, you know, just have a little chat with him and see what he wants to, if he's got anything to say for himself. See if he wants to pop on here. He's going to be in the RTK Discord talking, so we'll try and see if we can grab him and see have a little chat with him. But yeah, very convincing win, GG's. Yeah, indeed. So what we'll do whilst we're waiting there is we'll pop in and we'll discuss the build. So for the Dowie here in that particular matchup, I quite like what El Yakis was trying to do. So we went with Thoric. Sorry, didn't go with Thoric. We went with Thoric Ironbrow on the anvil. So he came in here with the rune of speed and the rune of slowness. Yeah, pretty good overall. Like nothing too terrible there. I can't remember if he had the rune. This one is not. It can be okay, but of course, if you're going to get kited, you're not going to be engaged in melee, so probably not that necessary. I still don't think it's that worth it, and we bought this. So somewhere around this cost, I think is roughly what we were looking at. Something like this. He brought a load of miners, but be sure they just got shot and got deleted. So we'll have to. Oh, hang on, we have a little. Perfect. Looks like he's going to come on. Perfect. Hey, Mr. Quality Char, can you hear me?
Hey.
Hey, man.
Good.
Hey, so yeah, you're going to be on live stream. So tell everybody, how was the final? How was it winning the Shorebid Season 4? How'd it go?
It feels pretty good. I think this was the last tournament I'll compete in for Warhammer 2, so it's definitely good to win it.
Fantastic. Yeah, it was nice. It's also been really nice to see you jump through the ranks. So, for those that don't know, Quality Char, when he joined here in the Short Bid League, joined at the second to bottom league. He came in, played against me. He'd never really played before. I'd say that was probably about 3 months ago now, and yeah, won that, and then convincingly jumped up massively since from season 3 to season 4. Won season 4 in the Nord Grimlings in the top level, and now has won the tournament. So you've gone on to be a complete newbie in 3 months to completely winning everything in short bids. So how does that feel?
Yeah, it feels pretty good, man. Yeah, I've practiced a lot. You know, I've gotten some good help from yourself, of course, from the guys in RTK, from a couple other people here in the Logic Discord. It's been really good to see the community just be that welcoming to a new player like me, you know?
Yeah, 100%. And, you know, I appreciate yourself and what you've thrown back into the community as well. And, you know, the community definitely appreciates it. And, you know, for others that are thinking, you know, how can I replicate these results? You know, I think for those that have seen Quality Char and his growth, he's come in, he's played a lot. He also went and joined a top-tier clan here with RTK, the Round Table Knights. Really good, a great bunch of guys here that have, you know, certainly, I'm sure, pulled you to the side, coached you, helped you, and stuff like that. World Championships are next step for Quality Char. 100% Alabama, 100%. What do you think? World Champion next year?
Yeah, I'll go for it. Absolutely.
Yeah, why not? You know. I mean, yeah. I mean, you know, I think that's what, you know. I think you're a great beacon of a great beacon example of what people can do in 3 months. And I think, you know, showing that, you know, I still even think that the Nord Grimlings is still a great standard of player.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think, you know, most people from the Nord Grimlings, you know, could expect themselves to do relatively well even on the intensity ladder. You know, I've seen people like yourself. You know, you've been in the silver rankings, and you've won the bronze to silver tournaments that I've casted, and you were just a small way away from making the actual grand final for the intensity event that has some of the big players like Evenstar that have, you know, won the WWC. So it's nice to have, you know, see players like yourself jumping up. So any sort of advice or recommendation for new players that want to grow like yourself?
Take it one faction at a time. Definitely find the one that you like the most, and this can be from your campaign experience, this can be from the aesthetics, or it can be from the play style. I was, you know, really drawn to Lizardmen at first as a new player, both for the dinosaurs and for the way they can kind of switch up, even within a single matchup, their play style. And after that, start to branch out. Because once you understand every matchup from a single faction, it's easier to know what the other factions do. You can learn about a faction by losing to it, which is the best way to learn. Play people better than you, play a single faction, get yourself stomped a couple of times.
Indeed. All right, mate. Well, congratulations. I'll let you crack on with the rest of your day and the rest of your practice, and we'll look forward to see what you have for Warhammer 3.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, cheers, mate.
Peace.
Yeah, so congratulations there for Mr. Quality Sharp. Yeah, brilliant win, and you know, a brilliant guy as well. You know, he's now also just joined the admin team here on the Discord, and is doing a fantastic amount of work here, and really helping out with the community. So thank you to him, and you know, nobody deserves it more than him, who's been working very hard. So congratulations. But yeah, I'd say for you guys as well, something that I look at as a build to fight on this kind of army. You know, like Longbeards, like so. We're looking at 5 Dwarf Warriors, 5 Longbeards. And then we're looking at, you know, a mixture of Quarrelers and Rangers. You know, we saw a double cannon coming in there as well. So, you know, if you wanted to mix in a double cannon, you can certainly maneuver around certain elements of the build however you want. Yeah, you can fix up the build however you want. You know, you've got 300 gold. Yeah, however you want to do it. I see some people also go with double Master Engineers. You know, you can sort of work it in a little bit like this as well, where you've got double Master Engineer, or you've got one. Then it comes in with the Fire Ring of Tory, because this does magic damage as well, so you can have that in there. If you really want to bring the Flash Bomb, you can. Yeah, you could just mix this up however you want. And if you want, you know, tankier Rangers, you could just go with Quarrelers, because they're going to offer you the same but be tankier. Of course, here the Rangers do offer you Stalk, so it depends how you want to play it. Bugmans as well will come in with regen, so they can fight quite nicely. But yeah, you can otherwise go in with some units of Quarrelers, and you can just go wider if you want. You can drop this, and then you can also just go in, you know, go really wide. So you know, it's entirely up to you guys. And I think with Thoric just making him, you know, cheaper, I don't think you need all of this. I don't think it's necessary. I think him coming in super cheap gives you more money to play with, and then, you know, you can, you know, we saved enough money there. You can bring, you know, a Master Engineer. And you can't quite afford that, but if you could afford, you know, say restock, it might be worth it. You know, if you can bring restock, it'll give you extra ammunition. You know, you can drop this and pick up an extra ranger unit. You can, you know, sort of work it in however you want. And an army like this could certainly work out for you guys. And, you know, you've got a bucket load of shields, so if they shoot you, you've got heavy armor, you've got shields, you've got a lot of range to counter back. You've got Thoric Ironbrow here with a rune of speed, rune of slowness. If you want to change out a spell as well, you can change out the slowness here for Wrath and Ruin, and you can use that explosion spell on whatever. Yeah, you can mix it up however you want. But yeah, that's a good example. Logic solution to any bad matchup: go wide. Yeah, pretty much. Would Thoric on foot be better in this matchup? Harder to target. Yeah, so you might think that. So Thoric here gets 25% physical resistance. That'll also include missile resistance. So he has 15 plus 25%. If you take him off the anvil, he loses the physical resistance. So here he actually gets, you know, a lot tankier on his anvil. And the anvil also gives you the Rune of Doom. So it's up to you. You can put him on foot if you like as well. That's entirely up to you. If you really just want to go tanky, you just bring Belegar Ironhammer. You can bring him nice and naked. And he's got Silver Shield and 120 armor, and he's on foot, and he's cost 1,000 gold. If that's all you care about. And then you've got an extra 695 to play with. So you can sort of do whatever you want. You can then go Master Engineer with Flash Bomb. You know, sort of like this, and then you can drop these, and you can go with double Master Engineer if you like. You know, you can sort of go somewhere along this idea, if you really wanted to. You know, you mix it around and play with however you want. Mr. Parkerilla, welcome to becoming in the Dwarven Holds. We have a brand new member here. Thank you so much, Mr. Parkerilla. I really appreciate that, my friend. So he's going to be joining the Dwarven Holds. Welcome and joining here with myself, and yeah, I hope you have a fantastic stay. You're going to be having a bunch of emojis in there. I think you should be getting some extra ones. You'll be getting my favourite Pepe laugh. You'll also be getting there with the sisters, a nice picture of Boris and a Slayer image, which I also really love. So yeah, thank you very much, man. I really appreciate the support. So thank you so much, Parkerella. But yeah, there's a little answer for you guys. So to finish off, thank you so much to everybody that played today. I hope you all had a fantastic time. I hope you enjoyed the tournament. I hope you learned a lot from it. There'll be more of this kind of content for me to come. And congratulations to RTK Cool HR. For winning pretty much everything Shortbiz has to offer this season. We'll be back next season for Warhammer 3. That'll be starting on the 1st of March, I imagine. What we'll do, we'll give you guys a grace period to get in, learn the game a little bit, and then we'll kick off with the tournament. So for any new players, you'll come in, we'll assess you over the week and a half that we have with you between the 17th and the 28th. And then we'll start on the 1st. First 3 weeks will be the league, and then in the final week we will organise the tournament, and then it'll be a month-to-month basis for every single season. So thank you so much for everybody. Really, thank you very much to Mr. Parkerilla. Take care of yourself, guys. Please feel free to like and also subscribe. And yes, see you in the next tournament, Logic. Yes, we'll see you on Wednesday for the next tournament, and will be some more videos in the next 2 days. And on Thursday, be ready. Warhammer 3. Oh, I'm excited. See you there.